Welcome to this presentation from Let's Play Live. We work hard so you can play.
Good evening and welcome to the LPL Alpha Invitational, broadcasted live here from the Sky Tower here in Auckland. It's a pleasure to have you all tuning in to us this evening. I am of course your host Dallas Easy Pie today. Joining me as per usual, my partner in crime, Thomas Blackout Richmond. And it is indeed week number 5 of the Invitational here. How do you feel the tournament's gone so far, Tom?
Oh, it's gone awesome. We've had a few unexpected results, and then I guess we've had the two top teams, I suppose, dominating. At the first 3 or 4 weeks, we had Tatum Mines really looking like they were the top team at the time. However, last week Greyhounds really brought them back down to reality, so this week will be good to see maybe how they can bounce back.
Yeah, a few roller coaster moments, I guess, across the tournament. But let's have a quick look at the standings coming out of week number 4, just to see how the teams have stacked up, because it is indeed the last week of group play here. So Greyhound, as Tom mentioned, looking very strong up the top of the table, 4 wins. No one been able to topple them just yet. Tainted Minds and Corvidae sitting there with 3 wins apiece. Tainted Minds just a hit on the round difference, though. Darksided down there at number 4, looking to fight their way to number 3 to see what they can do tonight. We'll find out. And Low 123 in order, still looking to pick themselves up their first win into the tournament, and hopefully tonight's going to be the night for one of these teams, because they are playing each other at the end of the night. But first up's going to be Darksided taking on Tainted Minds. This is going to be a good one. And then Corvidae versus Greyhound Gaming to see if they've got what it takes to take down the big dogs. So yeah, very interesting matchups tonight. I can't wait to see this, but I mean, first up, let's have a chat about Darksided taking on Tainted Minds. I mean, we saw some great stuff coming out from Darksided last week. They were very strong, very surprising, as well, because they've just been picked up by that new organization. How do you think that sort of impacted them?
I guess they would have just been very amped and ready to go for that game. It was their first proper game under the new banner, so they would have been really willing to show everyone what they're about, I guess. I've been really happy with the way their T-side's going at the moment. They seem to be, on their counter-terrorist side, they seem to be giving away a few rounds, but on that terrorist side where they get to use their natural aim and sort of run and shoot people, they seem to be doing quite well. So if they can come out hot tonight, then really they could give Tainted Minds a run for their money. And
I guess the next one would be, Greyhound taking on Corvidae. A little interesting thing about tonight is a few players from a majority of the teams, to be honest, in the tournament are actually overseas representing their respective countries, New Zealand and Australia. So we are going to see some new faces here. Do you think maybe, because Greyhound, might not have their full roster this evening, this will be Corvidae's chance to, get one over them?
Definitely. The 2 players that are coming in for Greyhounds are they're very good players individually. However, in my opinion, Greyhounds are probably the best team in terms of their teamwork and how they play with each other. So having 2 players that can't play tonight really changes up how they play. However, I feel like the individual skill will probably get them across the line. But the way Corvidae's been playing recently, you really just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some really big things coming out from Greyhound as well. Tainted Minds started off pretty strongly against them last week, but Gratisfaction and the boys, were extremely strong. They will be without their big AWPer this evening, but they'll still have... they won't also have Burn also, but they will still have Dexter, the man here who got Greyhounds right back into the game after Tainted Minds picked up the pistol round. And what a round with the Deagle here from Dexter. That was great stuff to see from them. Very dominant win as well from them, don't you think?
Yeah, no, they played really well last week. I actually picked Tainted Minds to win, seeing how well they'd been playing in the previous weeks. But Greyhounds came out with probably the game of the tournament so far last week and really gave it to Tainted Minds.
Yeah, and I mean, our last game of the night tonight, we've got Low 123 taking on Disorder. And I mean, both of these teams, have done remarkably well, I'd like to say. Especially Disorder, being put together at the last second, in order had to go overseas. Tonight, someone's going to get a win, Tom. So, I mean, out of those 2 teams, who do you think it's going to be?
I guess you would have to go with Low 123 based on the previous weeks of what you've seen. They've had although they haven't won a game, they've actually been in some very tight games and shown what they can produce as a team. So I feel like tonight they might be able to pull something out and get that win.
Yeah, and obviously, let's just take it back to obviously what our first matchup's going to be. It will be Darksided taking on the might that is Tainted Minds. Tainted Minds looking to get back on the saddle and get themselves another win on the board. I mean, what is the how, if you're Tainted Minds, you're coming off a loss last week. How do you work towards this game?
From Tainted Minds' point of view, I guess they just have to get that game out of their memory. They've shown they're a solid team, one of the best, if not the best in the country or the oceanic scene. So they sort of just need to scrap last week, go back to what works for them, and just bring their A game basically.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw some great stuff coming out from Darksided last week. I remember SK, I think there was one kill where he got everyone, lined up as they tried to push him to be on Inferno. That was, stellar stuff. And I mean, James on the pistol rounds as well. He definitely wasn't, like the week prior. He came out firing last week. Yeah. So, I mean, Darksided were showing us some stuff. There it is right there, actually. SK getting the nice 3-piece there. Darksided do find themselves the round as well. Because Lot 123 had such a good start into this matchup. And then Darksided came back out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, as I said before, the second half from Darksided was really strong, where they got to use their aim and run around and basically shoot heads. Their teamwork might be a little bit lacking at the moment, as you can see in some of their counter-terrorist rounds, like the way they flash for each other and trade for each other isn't necessarily on point. But if you give this team a couple of months, I'm sure they'll definitely show a lot more.
So yes, let's have a look at the first matchup. It's going to be Tainted Minds taking on Darksided. Darksided is now second showing under the new label. And I mean, let's just have a quick prediction from you here, Tom. What do you think this one's going to be?
I'm going to have to go 16-8 to Tainted Minds here.
16-8. Well, I myself, I'm going to say Darksided. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go with the safe one. I'm gonna have to say Tainted Minds as well. I'm gonna say maybe 16-9 to them. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the action here. Let's throw it over to our casters, Nutters and Wayfarer. Take it away.
Yeah, cheers Dallas, and welcome everyone who may be watching at home on Twitch, wherever you are. We've got some amazing matchups tonight, as we always say. I mean, maybe we take it a bit too far, but tonight I think we've actually got 3 of what could be the closest games in a single night.
Yeah, we've got some good games coming up. Tainted Minds, they're really lucky to still have their full squad available, and week in, week out, they bring the best that they can, and I really like that. The first matchup, that's one that we're going to look out for. Darksided on the way up, SK, Noisia, they've been stepping up. I'm looking forward to this matchup tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to have an amazing matchup, and as we can see, we are actually going to be having Train come out here, picked by Tainted Minds. We will see Darksided start out on that CT side. Now, I think in sort of the Australian region, Train is not a map played very often. And when it is played by those top-tier teams.
Yeah.
Do we see this as Tainted Minds trying to show some dominance over Darksided, or do we see this as Darksided possibly looking and just going, you know what, maybe this is our chance to prove that we can play possibly a slightly higher-tier map against a higher-tier team?
Yeah. Darksided, the playmakers have been stepping up, so Train, if they can force a rotate as T-side, if they can get the CTs to rotate to either site, which has been really hard to do, that's going to change things, and that's something that they're going to be focusing on, trying to get these Tainted Mind boys to leave A site supporting B, B site supporting A. That's what they're going to be focusing on. SK, Noisia, I want to see them really perform tonight. I want to see an underdog come through. Tainted Minds, still one of the... they hit a brick wall last night against Greyhounds. They really did.
Yeah.
But Darksided is a different lineup. They're not on Greyhounds level yet. Give it a bit of time, they could be, but yeah.
So if Darksided come out swinging, do you reckon they'll... I mean, obviously Blackout, he reckons they might get 8 matches. 8 rounds. 8 matches, that'd be a bit of a surprise.
I'd have Darksided on 10. 10 rounds, that's what I'd give them.
That's pretty fair. And they are starting out on the CT side, so it does... Sorry, no. It'll actually be Darksided starting out on the T side. It's the other way around. That's not too big of an issue, but Yam will spot out both of these players. Will back away to back end of Ivy, but James, with the Glock at long range, is able to pick him up. Gets a nice little bit of work done early. Noisia just manages to avoid any damage as he just peeks around that T main area. Inz is looking to get some revenge here for Yam. James may or may not be ready for this. Does spot him out. Doesn't get any sort of tag down. Doesn't get much of a repeat either. Maybe expecting Inz to have already backed away, but no, Inz will tap him down 3 times. Only hits it twice. James now down to 6 points of health. Leaves these players now looking for a place onto this A site. T's trying to bust out. Inns picks up one, picks up two. Drops Void and Andy looking for a third. Gonna tap away. Noisy's gonna be able to actually crack him while he's full blind. And now Zeusy is in behind, picks up one, picks up two. We saw this kind of precision with the Deagle in those early weeks. And now it's left James, 1 versus 2. Just looking for someone. James has to go hunting. If he's able to get some shots off onto Church, and he's putting himself in a good position, peeks around the corner, but that's going to give away his position as well. Zeusy's able to finish him off. 3 kills for Zeusy, a couple for Inns.
That was a great start from Darksided on Ivy. They played really defensive setup. They knew they were anticipating the aggression. They countered Yam. They did a really good job there, but they didn't really utilize on it.
Yeah, and we've already had a technical pause come through. A little bit unlucky to see that coming through for either side as of just yet, but the first round's under. That's done.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of pressure on like Ivy, even though they got the first pick on Ivy. You know, Ints had free reign on the lines, and with a USP, he was just able to shoot and target without any pressure on him. Being able to have that opportunity with a USP when you're playing in a pistol round against no armor, it's like a dream come true. These players make the most of these opportunities. Tap, tap.
Yep. That reminds me of something that someone else on the other desk said possibly last week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to sort of look at it and you have to wonder maybe had Darksided put just a little bit of pressure down. You know, they get that first pick, just push Ivy, try and prevent Inns getting any war control, even just forcing him back, right the way back into that back alley, maybe force him to go through the second tunnel. Does that possibly change up the angles he has to play, stop him getting those 2 early picks?
Well, the thing is that they didn't actually offer anything inside, so there was no reason for the CTs to suspect that they would be going B. So they were actually able to rotate 4 players onto the A site. They could still quickly rotate inside, but it was a sacrifice that they were willing to make. Inside bomb site's usually quite easy to retake, so that's what they're choosing to do. They're stacking the A site, and it was smart play. Zeusy went with 3 kills. It was huge.
Yeah, it does actually pull out a full force of Deagles out for Darksided. They're going up against a couple of nice FAMASes. Not a single M4 brought out, even though Zeusy did get a lot of money from that. Helps for the utility and the kit. Yam is going to peek aggressively out Ivy, but 3 players waiting for him. He's able to pick up the first. Drops Andy nicely. Second player peeking out, that is Void. Will only take a little bit of damage and does manage to back away. None of these players have any armor behind these Deagles, and this could actually be what costs them, given that obviously the aim punch will just absolutely annihilate them if they don't get some nice, easy, crisp 1-Deags off. And especially when you're up against the 1-Deag master in Zeusy on the other team, you have to wonder whether maybe Darksided won't be looking too good. But SK will drop down Pop Dog, doesn't catch the ladder properly, gets dropped at the hands of Inns, but James, he'll actually 1-Deag the Deag master, picks up Zeusy, but Inns picking up another 2, making it a little bit easy. Void just going to make a bit of noise, try and get the round over with. Yam will drop him, and it will force Darksided through onto that full eco. Maybe a couple pistols will come out, but either way, Tainted Minds should make this a nice swift 3-0.
Yeah, the Deagle players, they really got to slow play it. They're looking for those sniper lines. With those MP9s pressing onto them, it takes away that opportunity. You're shooting a moving target, not a standstill target. Yeah, I mean, those MP9s did their work, right? We talked about it previous week. They're a lot of fun. You get some awesome eco-frags.
Sewing machine. It's pretty nice. SK just going to peek away towards the top of Brown Halls. Only has a Glock. And the rest of his team, you know, sitting with a few P250s, but overall, it's not going to change an awful lot in the essence of this round. Inns has upgraded himself to an M4, which I do find rather interesting, given that he's farming the frags with the MP9. Is it needed for this round? Is this going to be possibly costly if that rifle gets dropped and it's not actually retrieved?
I guess they're just reinforcing their buy, just in case there's an AK or anything that might come through. It's just reinforcing because it's a gun that's good over range. He's going to be upgrading anyway. I guess with his position, he's going to be standing a lot further back so that they don't lose that M4. Last round we saw him on Pop Dog, going to E-Box. With the MP9, he's probably going to be using a lot more range this time round so they don't lose control of that rifle.
Yes, Darksided are taking this very slowly. They've already wasted just over a minute trying to, maybe they're just sitting and talking, trying to get a little strat together for this first rifle round. But as it is, Noisia will just peek towards the top platform, and James just going to be jumping around in the bathrooms. Doesn't mean too much for him. But the crucial man here could actually be Chuch holding on, I suppose, the opposite side of the spools than what is usually held. Quite often you'll see a CT hold from behind there, but he will be able to pick up one. He won't pick up a second. Offnu's able to drop Noisia. Offnu picking up another one. Chuch comes on through, cleans up both James and Void, and now Tainted Minds leading 3-0. Darksided will be able to get a nice solid buyout. An AWP straight out onto James. Is it going to be onto James? No. Yes? Yes. All right.
Now, we do know that he likes to AWP. It's interesting that they're not having Andy AWP tonight, but yeah, James is actually really useful. He can pick frags, his aggression, and if he's having an off night or not feeling it, maybe it's a good decision.
Oh yeah, I can completely understand that. It's one of those. I just wonder if you decide you're having an off night before you've even picked the AWP up, though. That's my only concern. Either way, first rifle round, that AWP could be absolutely crucial. They're already playing, knowing how aggressive Tainted have gotten towards Ivy. They're already playing 3 players straight down there at Darksided, which increases the chances of an outers hit just that much more. The problem is, that player that has pushed into the team main will have spotted out that there is no T's and maybe expecting the B play. Boost comes over the top. Yam's able to drop James, though, put the smoke down and back away. That kill came out just a little bit too easy. I think they were hoping that the run boost would distract him. He'd pop the shot, miss that one, but instead, I don't think they actually gave enough of the legs to him to make him even realize the player was off.
It was really interesting. Yam did not falter at all. He read the play totally. He knew that the other guy was going to be stepping the inside line.
Absolutely. As 2 of these players trying to push up the brown holes area. Yam, he is very cautious that they may have pushed the smoke, and indeed that is what Noisia will be doing, but as it is fading, we'll just get Molotov'd out, which now means that Yam's position becomes ever so more crucial. Noisia will still be playing around just a little bit. Bins, I think they're just going to try and get him out, indeed, as the players will head over towards B. They will try and get some sort of execute out. SK annihilated by Chuch. Straight down from next to the balls. They've got 10 seconds to work with. Void's able to pick up 1 kill. They need to get the bomb down. It's dropped right to Void. He can try and plant, but Zusi coming in will drop him. And that was all it takes. Darksided, they will get the loss bonus, of all things. But they also get a very sad 4-0.
Yeah, James getting picked off. They had nothing to offer after that. It was quite disappointing. I mean, 10 seconds left on the clock. They're running inside. Players couldn't even be careful about running inside because Inz was holding a close A main line. He was able to hear that full rotate, and they stacked 4 guys, 4 CT players to take on that attack. Just not good.
Not in the slightest. As Chuch, he's looking to get aggressive here. He knows that they won't have much of a buy. We'll put out 1. He's got the M4A1, so the bullets have to hit. He doesn't hit both. Yam's able to get 2 trades back, though, instantly into the favor of Darksided. Sorry, not in the favor of Darksided. My goodness. Offnu will drop Noisia, and Andy now left in the 1v4. It doesn't matter. They know where the bomb is. It doesn't matter where he is. Even if they pick off 1 player, he starts to find the next 3. And you'd expect, with the skill cap of Tainted Minds, that they'll be refragging it pretty quickly.
I like the pace there from the T sides down the lower ramp, but that smoke, it came way too late. What was the purpose of buying it if you've got 3 teammates who have already ran onto B site with that smoke popping so late? It's just bad coordination, bad communication.
Andy is actually getting flanked through Pop Dog, through the A main area, but it will be in with the M4, just holding the higher angle. Andy's still searching for Zusi, won't be able to find him. And Tainted Minds knocking him to a 5-0.
Far out, Tainted Minds, they've taken it to them. I mean, they would have been disappointed last week, and they want to come back with a bang. Stamp their authority on the Australian scene once again. They had a tough week last week losing to Greyhounds. Today, they want people to look at them like, hey guys, we're the best. Look at us, don't stop supporting us. We'd do anything for your nation, you know? Like,
is there a such thing as a good game against Greyhound, though? I mean, obviously beating them, that's a good week against Greyhound. Anything else, I don't think you can expect too good of a week against a team of that caliber, especially when they are playing with their 5 core.
Yeah, you know, this is a tough squad. It's playing Darksided, they're probably looking forward to it. It's probably a little bit of a break compared to playing against Greyhounds. Just a bit of the tensions let off a little bit. Just a little. They never turn down like the intensity of how hard they play, but it just means that they can relax a little bit, coordinate their defense, rotate, step back, not give away anything. It's nice. They've made it really difficult to give Darkside at any opening picks on the map. Yam's isolated Ivy. They're going to be feeling that pressure.
I mean, we could even see just from that play from Inns. You know, he was holding that sort of public area. He uses his utility nicely, he smokes himself off, and he's actually able to play around a couple different angles. He picks up another 2 kills in that round that we know of. And you have to wonder if maybe Tainted, you know, being left with this map in the pool, do you think it was just a bit too easy?
I think they really do like Train. I think it's one of their better maps, so I really struggle to see Darkside beating them on Train. Ints with his AWP, I mean, we've seen Yam and Ints with the AWP recently with the double AWP. Once they get that out, that's something that they can fall back onto. And they haven't even introduced that to the rounds yet.
Well, introduced to the rounds, however, will be Andy on the AWP. Didn't work for James. The run boost was rather interesting. I don't know if they'd bother trying it again.
Well, I really hope that they don't repeat the process that they just did with James. That's the problem with swapping the AWP. Andy's going to play Ivy again, just like James was. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches it.
Yes.
Although, it doesn't look like Yam is playing Ivy.
To be fair, Yam has been rotating around the sites a little bit. He's been playing around that connector area when they're expecting the B. And he's been playing... Don't know if Andy was spotted at all there by Zeusy. But utility goes out, smoke and a Molotov. Doesn't really matter. Zeusy's able to re-Molotov it off himself. And instantly that smoke comes out. Shots will go through it, but there's nobody there. Tainted Minds just seem to be almost on top already. Even if it's just in the mental game. But Inns, he's there to support Zeus. He's going to take a little bit of damage. Only a relatively minuscule amount. But this time we see Yam, he's playing close to team main. James, he's going to give him the shoulder, and it's too much, too easy for Yam. It's simple.
I think the problem at the moment is that Tainted Minds are so confident. They don't care if they've only got 2 on the site or 3 on the site. They don't have to rotate because they feel like with 2 players, they can stop and execute. They can stop anything that the Darkside give them.
And to be fair, at this point, the worst they could, I suppose, hope for is a 4 versus 2. If they get 1 frag, it comes down to that 3 versus 2, and they instantly have an advantage. Yet again, now 3 versus 3 on that A site, but that'll be 1 for Chutch. He can't get the second. SK will refrag him, but Noisia now left 1v4. Knows he has to save what he's got, but already players looking to push in on him. Offnu will get in there and absolutely annihilate him. He can't even hold on for a save. Just nothing going in Darksided's favor.
Again, 10 seconds on the clock, still trying to get onto the B site. Incredibly late. They need to be faster. They need to up the ante. They just need to find something to get back into this game. They need to break the system that they're in and just do something crazy. A fast A execute. Get E-box. Do some trades. Be fast enough to trade your teammate ahead of you. And it looks like we've got 2 players going quite quickly inside at the moment, but we still have a split on Ivy. This aggression on lowers is really impressive. Oh, what a pickup! That's exactly what we want to see! It's going to force the rotate inside.
Indeed. It's going to move Yam in as...
James is perfect for a pick. Yes!
Finally!
That's what we need to see from these boys.
Yeah, lovely work from James, picking up another frag, and already Tainted now have to worry. No matter what side it goes to, it can be that straight up 5v1 or 5v2. In the very best situation, they call a site now, they hold it, and really hope the Darkside run into them. But they're actually spreading themselves out nicely across the map. They're able to drop 2 players probably down Pop Dog, 2 players coming through Ivy. The bomb's still going to be towards that team main area, but at least Darksided have that control. Noisia is going to be able to peek down. Old alley. But no, Noisia is going to knock himself up to heaven. As you see, popping off a few shots. Won't be able to drop Andy. It's actually Andy's first frag for the game as well. And now, with 40 seconds to try and defuse this, it looks as though the CTs will just look for a couple of picks if they can get it. Offnu will have heard Void. Whether he decides to drop down, Yam has managed to drop SK. He will. He'll be able to push in. He drops Void, and now this is an entirely winnable situation. He'll put the smoke down, peek into James, pick up that frag as well. My goodness, he should not deserve to win this. Noisia, he'll still be in heaven. Noisia and Andy will pick up the last 2 frags. Woo! Darkside will pick up their first round, but my god, that had me on edge.
That should have never come that close. That was interesting play from the CTs. So the option is that they fall off, they wait for the bomb plant because they think they have a better chance of getting the retake. It's a smart play and a logical play. It opens up the T lines after the plant. They might cross their line, get an entry pick onto the retake. Just changes the game a little bit better, puts a little bit less pressure on them. But what a retake. I can't believe that came down to a TV2.
I have to wonder that the final two maps that we were actually left with between these two teams for the choices were Train and Cash.
I love it. I love these maps. A lot of fun, different to previous weeks.
Oh. SK just controls this spray nicely, is able to drop Church. But as you said in the previous round, that double up setup from Tainted, my goodness, that'll be one for James. Ins is able to get that instant refrag. But my goodness, that could have so easily been just 2 taps and 2 headshots. Very unlucky not to have caught that.
This is really great because the B players on CT side have played early aggression, and SK and Void have been able to counter that. It's been, with the fast play. They're getting that control really early. It's really good to see. It's a change of pace. And James, he's lurking out A main, and the CTs aren't putting enough pressure. He's able to sneak past with using his knowledge and experience, timing the line to be able to get there, and he's just surprising them with good entry frags. It's changed the dynamics of this game and forcing CTs to do clever rotates.
Once more though, Darksided have gone out without any utility. They've been very lucky that Yam was not looking at them, but Offnu, he'll be able to pick up one. SK gets a single trade back, he's looking for the second, holds the spray onto Yam, picks that up perfectly, but ends 1 versus 3, makes it a 1v2 by dropping SK, peeking around the trains. He'll be able to find possibly another kill, rather simple onto Andy. Should Andy peek him? Void though, the big health player, will be close, and he will pick him up. That will pick up Darksided's second round, and maybe maybe us doubting them's actually giving them a bit of a kick.
Yeah, we've seen SK really show up, and we talked about him having to show up. He's stepping up his game every week, getting the entry frags. That long-range recoil control on the top of trains from long, it was so impressive. That is so hard to do. Now this is a must-win buy for the CTs. Build up economy.
Talking about must-win, Yam has decided to completely glass cannon this up. He's got no armor, no utility. It's literally just that 4750. Could be down the drain, but Ins will be able to pick up the first frag onto James. Nice work for him. SK gets one back, but Offnu instantly with that trade. Zusi looking for one of these players around the smoke. Spots Noisia, drops him while he's full white, and that's the bomb down. Looks for another, he'll drop Void. Now Andy left 1 versus 3. You said it's must win. And Tainted have put themselves in a near perfect position to absolutely destroy Darksided this round. Andy can't hit the first shot, does manage to back away, so gives himself at least a second chance, but no matter which side of the train he peeks out on, Yam will be ready, Yam will drop him. The armor doesn't matter when you don't get shot at.
Yeah, and that was good play from the CTs. They played a counter on James because they know he's been coming out A main, but it was a great trade from SK. Again, getting the first frag for the T side. I really like how they're doing, like they're changing how they're playing. But Tainted Minds, they're so adaptable. Whether or not the T side can continue this momentum, this fast pace, these entries, the adaptability of Tainted Minds, that's something that they have to contend with. It's going to be difficult.
It seems like it's been an almost tactical reset, and I'm not saying Tainted Minds have given them the 2 rounds to try and reset them, but the fact that they've killed them down to 2 players in the last 2 rounds that Darkseid had actually won has destroyed their economy so much with their buys that they can't get anything out this round. Deagles, P250s, CZs will mean that Ins getting that first pick, it's essentially forced Darkseid completely away from that Ivy area. And any sort of double up setup now, even with Yam, they're both essentially focused on this A site.
With the double ult setup on Tainted now, that's changed everything with Darksided. They might find it really difficult to get James out A main.
Hold up. SK's managed to play his way around. Does this remind you of anybody in a possible recent tournament?
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit?
Oh my gosh.
SK's managed to get his way in all the way behind. Please go for the no!
Oh.
I was really hoping the knife would come out there. He misses the second shot, but Noisia and James combining, getting another couple. Church will pick up Void in the meantime. Brings it down to that 3 versus 2. A lovely play from SK. I really wish he'd pulled the knife out, though. That would have just been some pure BM. Offnu and Ins now on this retake. They know where the bomb's planted. They do now. I think Offnu was half aware of the possible flank, but also half aware that maybe it wasn't planted on B. SK will be able to drop Ins. Offnu peeking around, picks up one. Be looking for another. Peeks into SK, drops him, but luckily Noisia's up there. Noisia is alive. He has no armor on that. And still just clutches out that round for
So
Darksided.
thankful that he was there, available to trade. It would have been painful to see a 1v1.
That was painful to see in the first place.
SK.
But that head bobbing. Head bobbing.
How did he get past? That timing must have been on point. But again, SK is opening up this game. He's everything for Darksider right now. He is superb. And showing up against Tainted Minds. This is what we need from him. Ugh, Darksider must be stoked.
I'd be pretty stoked as well, I think. I'm pretty happy. It has forced Tainted down now to the eco. Couple of CZs, but shots flying through, and they're already looking good. SK's only managing to pick up Offnu before he's traded out. It's not too positive, as Darksided now will be able to put down a little bit of utility over on this A site. Nausea peeking around the brown train. Just looking. Spots and
Nice.
drops-ins. Nice work from him. Expecting these plays over the top. But all three of them just sitting right next to the bomb train. I would love it if a single flash could absolutely lead to their annihilation. One!
Ooh.
Only a single kill for James. Brings it down to the 2 versus 3. Zusi hasn't actually opted for a deagle in this round, which I would have loved to have seen, but he's already picked up the only 2 kills for Tainted. Chuch looking to play around the train. Nausea will be able to get the flick.
They've opted to rotate inside. I was really wondering why their bomb was not coming down. They had secured outside so easily. They had the blue train, mid train, E-box, ladder. But yeah, they opted inside. Okay, that's interesting.
I don't personally blame them. James would have spotted all 3 players when he peeked around towards a bomb train. If the bomb goes towards it and they lose that planter as he's putting it down, all of a sudden you've got 3 players that have all this control at the back of A, trying to get in there to get hold of that bomb or get these frags. And I don't think that would have been an amazing position for Darksided to be in, especially with their economy only just trying to get back in there, just trying to rebuild.
Well, this AK on Zeus is really going to help going towards next round. Oh, Noise's got him by the looks of it. Oh!
I'd like to point out that Noisia did not hit him once, and Zusi would have been aim punched, and it should have been an easy frag.
Should have been a free frag. Should have been a free frag.
I don't know how that didn't come through for him. But Zusi, he picks up the 3 kills that they require. And that's all that really matters. Tainted will be able to get that buyout around the AK as well. Mainly M4s. No AWP out for Yam this time. But Nausea is going to be peeking around team main. He's not going to be able to push through that spray. Church down.
This is nice. They're pushing uppers. They're pushing deep into the CT spawn.
A few shots coming through, and Church doesn't do any damage. That's key. But Void, he peeks away at the perfectly wrong time. He'll be able to pick up 1 kill onto Ins, and he's dropped Yam. James playing around the outside will drop Offnu. And now Zusi with that saved AK. He's put a bit of armor behind it this round. James will fall. And as it is, it's now a 3 versus 1. The bomb has been planted. Zusi, he's just going to be running for his life here. Will be able... No, he won't be able to. Won't be able to drop Nausea. And, well, we've seen at least a slight Darksided comeback here.
Yeah, well, I mean, they started off the game kind of scared, slow-paced, but they've turned that up. They've turned up the intensity, and it's something we want to watch. This is exciting.
This is an amazing game, and I'm just surprised. I actually thought that on their side, that was going to be Tainted Minds sort of picking up a 10-5 half at the very best. Now, Darksided, they're up onto 5. If they can get it together, keep it together, they'll be looking at a relatively successful, possibly even 8-7 half in their favor.
Well, they really need to hold it. They really need to hold it together against these pistols. This should be a free round from them right now. They just don't want to run into the stack. They've been good with getting that information inside and getting the first kill. They lead inside right now. They've only got to contend with 1 CZ.
Sorry. Did you say should? That's the caster's curse word. They should be able to. That now means that Zusi's probably going to pop off with his D, pick up a 4K. Chuch will be standing here. He'll just absolutely annihilate them. He is on the ladder, though.
Wait for it.
Is he on the top of the ladder, or is he actually on the ladder? Where's his accuracy? It's there. It's enough. It drops SK. He does take a little bit of damage, but he's able to back away. And already, your should might be turning into a could. And in the next 50 seconds,
Ooh, we've got a flank on the back door. Zusi's sitting there waiting.
He's heard him. He will be able to turn around
He's able to call the entire rotate. He's going to open with a deagle.
Nice onto James. Noisia peeks through, but gets the frag. That's all it
down.
takes, though. Lovely work from Zeus here, and ends in such a position. Void's able to get one frag back. Church, though, he still has hold of that AK. Yam looking for the double tap. Taps out Noisia, and Void now left 1 versus 3. He should not be in this position. I told you it was a should. It's not a will. And Church will come through. He'll annihilate Void.
Oh,
Eat your words.
oh, oh man, that is, oh, it hurts.
Oh.
It hurts. It really hurts. After playing so well and doing everything right, the round before they did a fast dinners. They totally countered the CT players. Then they couldn't take on pistols with no armor. Like,
You must know what that's
going on?
You must know what that sort of round's called, right?
That's a CZ round, man.
No, that's AUCS, lol.
Oh, mate, it's cringe.
Yeah,
Well, James coming back to what's been successful.
he'll be looking for at least one frag here. Inns will be able to just get his teammates' assistance to smoke out.
Nice.
James will be able to pick him up, and Offnu gets the frag back. Yam just holding towards that upper halls, but that doesn't mean anything as Offnu, well, with that single trade, has managed to keep it at a 4-on-4 and almost forced Darksided back out of any possible rotations. Noisia just trying to peek down Ivy. Playing as a single player alone here doesn't have any sort of support, but also means that there's less chance of, I suppose, Zeusy picking up a triple spray down.
Well,
Andy looking to just peek around, making a little bit of noise in T-main. Looking as though it will be an A-side execute here.
Noisia and Andy focusing on outside with a pick. That's what we need. A good map control now.
Yeah, that's actually freed
That's
up the
a free
entire
plan.
A-side.
As long as they're quick, I think they need to up the pressure.
The problem is the single rifle of SK will be able to do a lot of damage. He picks up both Offnu and Yam. And now Church, if he's able to prevent the plant, it'll be perfect. But he won't. He now has to decide where he's going to push from, whether he's actually going to go through this connector smoke. No, spots out SK, but doesn't do any damage. Will be peeking around, and SK tries to get the shots off. Church still looking, still hunting. Noisia, he's going to be able to get a couple of tags down, and my goodness, Darkside just can't finish him off. SK, it takes a Glock to do it.
That was impressive from Darksided. Andy coming out, just timing A main and Ivy together. They got full map control. They can control green. They knew that they could get to the bomb site. And great trading. SK doing work.
I won't say the only one doing work, but SK and Noisia definitely teaming up, and when those boys are both on form and playing well together, you quite often see some of the best players come through. Tainted will be looking. This is the 15th round, and as such, both teams with essentially the fullest buys they can possibly get. Void. Oh, I don't think he spotted Offnu through the smoke. Void will be able to drop him. Nice bit of success early. Size of the utility to work with. But Void not opting to even try using any of it. He has 2 flashes, he has a smoke, he has a Molotov. He's still opting to just try and sit in Pop Dog, and should this push from Yam be at all successful? It isn't. Never mind. I was going to start talking up Tainted and how they might have got a rifle back and this, that and the other, but apparently they're not too good at it either. Noisia and SK will pick up a couple more between them. And Zeus now left in a 1v5. It doesn't matter. Darksided have done some amazing work there to bring this match back into an 8-7 from being, well, a solid 6-0 down.
Oh, we could see an upset here. We could see Darksided winning. I mean, whoa. Man, that's going to put a spanner in the works.
Yep.
7 rounds on T-siding on train against a really good team. That's impressive. Yeah, I want to be CTs right now.
I'd love to be. But
We've seen some massive plays.
indeed, we have. Tainted making a little bit of noise, suggesting a possible hit towards the A site. The bomb is still sitting right the way back towards T-spawn. Church just giving a little bit of a peek down towards the bottom ramp. Noisia and SK both holding, I suppose, crucial angles at this point. SK being trusted almost alone, but I do believe he actually has James helping him. So I don't know why he's having to check both upper platform and bottom ramp. As flashes will head over. And a decoy. It's actually forced to rotate out of a couple of the CTs, but no, they are going to rotate back. Offnu puts out a flash, and the push will come through. Trying to get up close to site. Zeusie's managed to drop Void. Looking for a little bit more. Taps through the smoke. Andy picks up Yam. SK gets one as well. Andy picks up a second, but he's going to get annihilated by Offnu. Down to the 2 versus 2. Bomb plant will go down. Offnu and Church in the 2 versus 2.
Whoa!
Lovely long-range Glock head taps with Offnu. It doesn't matter. He'll finish them off. Picks up a 3K for himself. And my goodness, Glocks are overpowered.
Ah, they're not overpowered. That was just a great shot from Offnu. What I didn't like from Darksided was that they were playing these really deep lines with the USP, which was really, really smart, but they rotated inside so fast. So the unrestlessness of the players weren't able to just hold those A main, Pop Dog, E-Box lines, and they missed out because the Ts were just so fast to execute. They caught them off guard.
And talking of restlessness, Yam, I believe, was just stabbed by Offnu. If that's what you want to call it. But as it is, it will be the CTs forced up with some pistols. No armor behind them yet again. So still trying to get those early buys with a lot of utility compared to maybe some teams that are buy up a bit of armor behind that. Problem is, when Church comes out like that and annihilates your first player, even on your rotate, you're going to be struggling to pick up kills. Church may or may not know that there's a player there. James will be spotted out and will be dropped. Void will also go down. Church will be looking for an ace here, but no, Andy's holding the angle. He will drop him, expecting the player up high. Can't drop Yam, and Noisia now 1 versus 4. Well, the round's over anyway.
Well, we saw Andy have a terrible first half with 3 frags. Hopefully they get him with the AWP. He could offer a strong, he could offer a bit of stability on the defense, outside, inside. Yeah, he is a really good AWPer. I still think Darksided, they've got a big chance to win this game.
Yeah, we haven't even seen the the first rifle round of this second half yet. So it does leave, I suppose, everything open to interpretation. What? Ah. Alright, Noisia must have been a little bit close to the bomb there. I don't know exactly. Alright. Alright. That's about all I have to say.
What we're looking at is fast inside from the CT team. Pushing up lowers, perhaps?
Yeah, 4-man stack on B. That'll be 1 for Church. Looking for some more. We'll get the spray down onto Void. Yam will drop Andy. And the peeks through. Church could probably do a jumping Glock shot here. Oh, Noisia peeks right into it. James will just have to settle for the 1 kill. Yam will finish him off. Tainted Minds knock it up to an 11-7. The question now is, with these Mac 10s, will Tainted upgrade these? They've got plenty of money. Knowing that double AWP set up early on the CT side.
Nice. I like it. I think this is going to work against Tainted Minds. I really do like it.
I really hope it works for their sake and brings this game a little bit closer. Zeusi gonna get instant smokes and flashes over onto the A site. There won't be any early push, however, from the Tainted players, but it may just be an attempt to force the rotations through. Church is able to push straight down ramp. He'll get annihilated though. SK picks up the double. 2 taps, 2 sprays, 2 headshots. Noisia is able to drop off New. Now that's a bomb down at the bottom of the ramp. James looking to peek around. Will drop Zeusi. Instantly Darksided, getting that retaliation, giving them an answer. And Yam left 1v5. The man's been in these positions and probably won it before, but not against these players, I don't think.
Well,
Maybe.
a player like Yam, you know, he never gives up. So he constantly believes there's a opportunity to be able to win this. He believes he can take on all these guys, but what he's thinking in his head is, how can I lure them into 5 1v1 scenarios? He never gives up. He's still trying to win.
Yeah, like you say, draw the 5 1v1s. If they're stupid enough to draw you into 5 different 1v1s, then you're probably doing something wrong as a team.
He always understands after the first kill there's going to be a reaction. Well, there you go. He gets snapped out. But what SK is bringing to this game, he's playing massive.
I don't understand how he plays. I mean, he holds that line perfectly, and if he hadn't reloaded, there was an easy 3. Luckily, there was Noji there to help him out, get that extra frag, and all of a sudden, Darksided are right back into it. They're double up, going to be staying up. They've picked up 2 AKs to supplement. But Tainted, they have the money here. They have the 4 AKs. They have that AWP on Yam. And Andy is going to be looking Yam, heading down towards Ivy. Does he have an AWP to fight, though? Chutch firing off through the smoke. Won't find SK just yet, but SK knows he's got an angle through the smoke. Spots him and drops him. Lovely work. Just finds the gap. And there's not much more he could ask for. Yam just trying to make the least amount of noise as he can towards Ivy. But having already lost Church, James just trying to hold it off. And that's a near perfectly timed incendiary.
SK right now, he is the man for Darksided. He is stepping up like we haven't seen this entire tournament. He's bringing it. What's in his drink? He's on fire.
Has someone bought this?
Oh man!
I can't. I'm not even gonna give you the credit for that one. I'm just gonna sit back and watch the rest of this round. I think, as it looks like Tainted will aim to push straight out Ivy. A couple of players there in assistance. Void will be forced back, but Tainted still playing it very slowly. Flashes heading straight out both sides. Push comes through. Shots won't be fired off yet. Offnu gets out clean. Andy looking for at least one of these picks. Hits Zeusy. Nice work from him. Will be Yam going down at the hands of James. And now the player looking to push out a team main. Offnu's able to drop James. Close up though. Void gets one back. And In's now left. Gets a nade down towards... Oh no. With 10 seconds left, he's just got to back out and save. He's got very little chance of getting anything out of this. Has to go back to T-Spawn, knowing that player was in Pop Dog. And Void is on the hunt. Just has to survive. As he will be able to keep a hold of the AK.
This is looking good for Darksided right now. I haven't seen them play this well this entire tournament. This is superb. I mean, I know they're still chasing, but they've got Tainted Minds on the back foot. They've got their confidence up. They're feeling good. They're pumped.
I'd be pretty pumped as well if I'm doing this well against what I'd consider to be one of the top tier 1 teams in the region. I'd be pretty happy. I think you would as well. James puts off a shot towards team main. Won't be able to find anybody, but straight out Pop Dog. This could be it. Noisia playing over the top of the bomb train, picks up one. Andy's dropped Zeusy, but the players are close. Chutch trying to play around, spots James. Will be able to pick him up. That's one for Yam as well. Void picks up a double in return, though, leaving Chutch 1v3. SK tagged up a little bit, but Darksided pick up their 10th round.
I'm a believer. I think Darksided have this right now. This momentum can't be stopped. The economy on the T sides is it's broken. They're really struggling right now. They lose this round, Darksided is going to be 11-11. Could be going to taking it to 12 because the money on T's are terrible.
Absolutely. James, drops and pops Ins. Lovely work. Andy's able to drop off new, and now I'm pretty sure that the Darksided have bought their team some new ladders because they're reaching a new high, and they are stepping up hard.
These AWPs are doing work. I knew Andy would be pretty impressive on outside, but James is also applying that aggression inside. You know, the confidence is right up there for everybody on this team right now. We saw Void get a nice double kill last round. You know, everybody stepped up, and that's what happens. You have a teammate perform like SK. Yeah, making things happen. This round just got close.
Brings it to that 3 versus 3. The double AWP's still alive for Darksided, and they're yet to see a failure in it. And as such, I do believe that Tainted could still be worse off, whether all 3 push to the same side at the same time or not. Yam and Church both over towards B already. Zeusy set to come and join them, but with 35 seconds left, the key here is that I suppose they're not taking as long as Darksided to execute. Not yet, at least. I hope. Maybe. They're probably going to be leaving it slightly late. And that single Molotov from SK could actually prevent so much here with 20 seconds on the clock. They will just have to sit in behind the smoke. A play coming up from the upper platform, though, keeps SK on the bomb train, but he peeks around, he spots out one, he drops Susie, he drops Yem, he drops Judge! My goodness, SK!
Wow! What the hell? This guy is on fire! I want a shirt! Give me a shirt! Oh, 22 frags! This guy's giving it to Tainted! This is what you want to see from players, stepping up against the big boys! Oh, mate, we see so many good players in Australia, but to be able to do it against Tainted, this is what everybody dreams of. This is the breakout opportunity for SK. It's like, he's showing up. This is what he wants to be able to do all the time.
Do you think this is actually SK's application for SK? Is he trying to join SK with these? And oh my god, through the smoke, gets the headshot onto SK. It's an instant refrag, and now with the top frag down, Noja will be able to refrag on ins. Zusi being stuck very awkwardly, looking for a way out if he can find it at all. May spot the player on top of bomb train, which is going to be Noja. It is 3 versus 4, so Tainted an instant disadvantage anyway. James still playing right back down the first tunnel. Zusi spots Andy. Gets the taps onto Noja, and you can see what he was going for. James will be able to drop off new, and I can't blame Zusi for that one. He thought that maybe if he held himself, kept that trigger discipline, maybe that player at bottom ladder, wouldn't have been looking directly at him. But Church pops off a couple shots, and he's able to take his time, get the flick. I just have to say, though, let's go back to SK. Let's have a look. It's magic. Picks up the first one through the edge of the train, drops Yam, and oh my goodness, Church just peeks around. They needed to frag him hard.
Picture perfect. And he opened that round up with a molly, which stopped the T's from being able to get onto the side. So that's why you actually saw the T's rushing it, because they needed to get the bomb down real quick before time ran out. Oh, he's on point! He's what makes Australian CS, Australian New Zealand CS exciting. Seeing players like this step up and take it to the best guys. Yam, what are you...
Now they're having it taken to them. Yam is bringing it out as well. A man who I don't personally enjoy eating. Yams aren't my sort of thing. But he's absolutely tasty in this game so far, and you can see Dark-Sided. They are considering a possibility of going towards the bomb, but I don't think they're oh my god, off no! With the wall bang! The timing on that!
That was almost a double as well.
Oh, he's tagged Noja down to 2 points of health. My god, this game is full of highlights!
Knowing your angles. Oh, mate.
Oh my lord. Everything. It's on point for Tainted, it's on point for Darkside as well, and Offnu, I don't know where he's wallbanged him from there. I don't know how he's caught him, but can someone tell me where Offnu is, please? Where is Offnu?
Offnu was outside on the bomb train, and he's shooting through the wood top left.
The second he killed Noja from outside as well. But I don't even. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful. Just a 2-tap to get through wood. Oh. The problem we have with Tainted is that any of these guys can match SK right now. So if they show up, like we just saw Yam get 2 opening frags on A mine, this game could go backwards. But, oh.
The only thing I could imagine being backwards is Andy's name. But James will be able to come through and pick up that first frag. Doesn't take any damage from it either. Zusi just going to be holding. Andy, I'd actually like to see him try and go and get the return wall bang. But Noja will just have to back away. We'll put down that utility rather nicely, but the slight miscommunication there has put 2 incendiaries down at the same time. Now leaving less utility for later in the round. Luckily Void is getting aggressive into team main. And oh, Yam. I don't know if he spotted him. Yep, Yam has spotted him. And Void is going to get dropped. Indeed. Crouches right into that one. And now a 4 versus 4. As Tainted will be looking to make their way onto one of these sites. Inns holding towards that pop dog area. Often still looking for that frag. They know Noja was still on B when they left him about 30 seconds ago. The smoke will go down. And that's probably just going to be attempting to bait out a bit more utility from Dark-Sided. Sadly, they have no more smokes left. All they have really for any sort of retake and damage control is 3 flashes and a single HE. Tainted have so much to work with. Smokes, flashes, Molotovs, everything. Looking to head over. Inns puts down the flash. Will be aiming to get straight out of that B ramp. No, it's going to be through Pop Dog, but James hits the first shot onto Offnu. The fake has not sold. He will be able to drop Yam as well. He'll be looking for 4. Endy gets one onto Inns, but Zusi now with 5 seconds left. Not a chance at all. Zusi through the smoke will just survive. Needs to keep it alive, and SK will drop him after time. No money for you. My goodness, this game is full of twists and turns, and Dark-Sided have taken the lead.
Oh wow, James was so... his AWP play at the moment is so impressive. He's getting opening picks, which is forcing the CTs back. They're like, he's taking all the opportunities away from the T-side players. He's 3k then with the AWP. Woo!
Oh, I just got to calm down a little bit. You know, can someone book me like a massage? I just need to relax, loosen up some muscles, and calm down a little bit. As it is, I think Tainted could do to just sort of calm themselves down as well. The first time they haven't been directly in the lead, so they do have to sort of at least calm it a little bit. SK, they're trusting him over on this B site. They know that he's able to hold this nicely now, and it does mean that Tainted are going in a direction, or at least a single player is going in a direction they haven't taken very often, with Void and Endy both holding this Ivy area. It'll actually just be Void now, aiming to get a bit aggressive. Flash will come through, peeks the corner, and he'll drop off New. Lovely work from him. Inns has been tagged up as well, somewhere up in the brown halls. I'm not too sure exactly where from or how, but SK, yet again, he puts down that Molotov. Yam gonna be taking a lot of damage there, trying to peek around the train. Oh, the tap onto James. Lovely work. Looking for some more, just tapping that gun away. Zusi, he's up close, catches Noisia with the flash out, and now the player trying to peek down second tunnel. No, yes, Zusi should be caught out here. What? No! No shot comes through, and it does mean that Endy will take the damage. He needed to get that angle, he needed to take that shot. Inns is already on the flank, the bomb will go down on B. SK through the smoke, Inns will drop him. Void, 1v4. Little to no chance left in this round. Knows that he has to save what he's got.
I don't know what to think about Andy missing that shot. That was a
not
free
taking
kill,
the shot
and
even.
would have created an opportunity for the CTs to be able to win that round. It was really important.
Is that him missing the shot? Did he not? He didn't take the shot initially, I know that much.
And
then I think when he did, he just...
Yeah.
He whiffed. Either way, this should be Void falling. Yam. Oh, he's even getting a teammate in here to flash for him. That is teamwork.
We've got a game on our hands. 13 all. I did not see this happening.
Breathe in.
I don't think anybody saw this happening. We were all Tainted Minds, like, heavy favourites going into this. The way that they've been playing week in, week out.
Woof. Is this a newfound Dark-Sided? And I'll be honest with you, I've always said that I believe players like SK, James, and Noisia all tend to play a lot better when they are under a new banner. Under an actual team banner. And I feel like this is what we're seeing right now. They're playing it out of their minds. James able to pick up 1. Yam gets straight onto SK. That'll be another coming through for Yam. Picks up 2. Zusi and Offnu will combine to pick up the final few kills. Does leave it in Tainted Mind's favour ever so slightly, but the buy will come right on through for Dark-Sided once more. They will not be wanting this to go anywhere near overtime. They'll pull out a single AWP. Now, is this going to be crucial where the AWP plays, and would you rather this is in Andy's hands or James's hands?
I would rather see it in James's hands because of his confidence. Andy has been a little bit cautious and uncertain about what he's doing.
Alright, and then he does that. He just gets a huge tag onto wins early. So
yeah, that is very important. Oh, Bogdan, come on.
Alright, so Yam's obviously trusting himself with the rifle. SK still going to be holding over on the B site, just waiting for these T's to push into him. And I do wonder if the T's are just slightly wary of pushing into SK over here. Whether they know just how strong he has been playing and whether that's going to affect them. Noisia and Void, though, working nicely together, trying to make sure that if one person does go down, there is someone there for that trade frag. The only problem being, if they run into Yam or Zusi and their spray control's on point, That's more than just one kill. James, he's going to fall. SK can't pick up anything more than Zeusy. Church is able to drop him. And now it's down to that 3 versus 4. Dark-sided, they have to get this rotate going. The bomb will be planted at the back of bomb train. So, a very default position. Offno is still up at the top of Pop Dog, expecting this rotation. And that's exactly what he's going to get from Noisia. He'll peek down, he'll drop him. And this is now pushing this game so very close in favor of Tainted Minds. But my goodness, the save coming through from Dark-sided is crucial. But do you think it's too little too late now? This is 15th round pushing them over the edge.
Darkside have been playing out of their minds, but we're seeing the class of Tainted Minds just topple them. Like, it doesn't look like they're performing that well. It looks like Darksided had them in every way. Yet they're still winning. They're still taking this match. That's what I call class. It's the hierarchy just dominating.
Void is able to save the AWP in the end. And I seriously have to wonder now. Obviously, if Tainted Minds win this, it guarantees that Darksided, they don't come to LAN. They don't have a chance to come to Auckland. It's going to be... it's got to be hard on the Darksided boys, knowing that they are this close at the moment. And they have forced up. They've got CZs, they've got UMPs. If they can make the most of this, it'll be absolutely beautiful. But Yam, he's getting aggressive towards the ramp. Doesn't do anything just yet. SK pushing right in, close to the smoke. The 2 UMPs actually being trusted to hold this B site together, but Noisia. The CZs are just getting aggressive. They're looking for the picks themselves, knowing that Tainted won't be wanting, I suppose, this early aggression to get in their way. Nice flash. Doesn't completely catch out Ivy itself, but Offnu will still be able to peek. Checking over the smoke. Will not spot anything. Both Andy and Noisia played towards that team main area. Yam has taken a lot of damage. Will be able to back away. Zeusy. This kill is crucial. Noisia will be looking for this. The flash is going to come through from Offnu. It won't actually catch Noisia out, but Noisia will still fall. Andy's missed that shot. And now Zeusy has that team main position completely under his control. Andy's been forced all the way back. And this is the time where Tainted may even begin to rotate. Head over towards that B site as Yam looks as though he wants to sort of put a bit of utility over towards A just to throw that fake. Yam, yep, he will be putting out the utility, just trying to get his team a little bit closer, but no. Darksided have called this. They've kept their players over towards the B site. And SK, he's prepared. He picks up 1. He picks up 2. Wow. That's the round. No, they can't win it. They can't get the bomb down. Zeusy, no chance. And Darksided have picked up 14.
SK again. He's everywhere. Oh, how did he just do that? 3K with the Oh, no. Highlight reels. I think this guy has had about 5 highlights throughout this match. We got 1 away from going into overtime. Wow. I think everybody at home right now is just shaking in their boots like, how did it come to this? How are Darksided playing so well?
I'll be honest with you, I feel bad for anyone that's watching this and when someone goes, oh, did you see that SK3K? And they have to go,
Andy.
Which one?
Pick on mid.
Andy is going to be able to peek over the top of the train. Doesn't catch out the player rotating back. Zeusy. Just going to be looking around ins. Still only as a CZ. I'm almost scared that we're going to overtime here.
I'm looking forward to it. I think this Darksided, they deserve it, the way that they're playing. I just hope they get the play right.
You'd have to hope that they get at least something right here, but Noisia will just be playing around. Ins. Just gonna drop the flash. Ins. No.
Wow, he ran straight past
one of the players. Noisia picks up 1. Void's gonna fall though. Andy gets a trade back. Zeusy's able to drop Noisia. Crucial now. Andy's dropped off Nu. 2 versus 3. Oh, in the smoke though, Ins will fall at the hands of SK. And Zeusy 1v3. He's got time. He's got the bomb. He's got no utility. This game is on a knife's edge. If Zeusy's able to get a kill over towards this B site, well,
he's fast playing as well. No hesitation. Straight. All he's going up is.
SK No. Hasn't caught him out. SK will just be dropping. Zusi taps the bomb. Needs to plant it now. Will get it down. Backing away. He's got no utility to play with. He has been spotted out. Now all three of these Dark-Sided players need to work together. They can't allow him any time. James is going to fall. That's another for Zusi, but Andy gets in there. He can get on the bomb. Dark-Sided are taking us to overtime against Tainted Minds of all teams.
Wow. And Andy, of all times to step up in this match, gets a 3K with the AWP. Oh, I can't believe it. I don't think anyone would have saw this coming. Wow. They deserve to go to overtime. That was sensational. This is huge. Watching SK. Oh, man, if he plays like that week in, week out, they could take it to the top of Australia and New Zealand. Far out.
I almost feel like if Zusi had focused on Andy instead of SK, we may not be going to overtime right now. Either way, Tainted will be able to pull out. Oh, the wall bang. It's looking for something, won't find it. But we do have to remind everyone, because I believe this is actually the first time we've had overtime in this tournament, that Andy is going to almost get himself killed. But this is an MR3 10K. That means that they play 3 rounds on each side. They get $10,000 worth of cash at the start of each half. So they don't have to worry too much about those buys in the first 2 rounds. But if they do lose 2, their money's usually not in the best position. And it does leave them just hunting to try and be the first team to the 19th round. Andy trying to stake his claim for it, as Chutch will fall.
Andy turning up could be the match winner. He's got his confidence back.
The key here is that both James and Andy, they're playing that double AWP again. And that flash over the top. James is going to get caught out, but doesn't take all the damage. Both him and Andy dropped to 27 points of health now. James going to get aggressive towards team main, understanding that these players will probably try some form of push, but Inns, he doesn't look to get too aggressive, as they will look to possibly execute over onto A. Smoke's going down. James is forced back. He's going to burn up. He doesn't go all the way down. Yem is going to fall. Inns will get the trade back. Void's taking a bit of damage from that Molotov in the same. And he will be able to get the kill onto Zusi. Ofnu gets the trade back, though, instantly. 2 versus 3. Push coming still through. Inns will fall. SK gets in through the smoke, drops Ofnu, and will be able to defuse the bomb. They'll be able to pick up all the weapons they want. AWPs, AKs, etc. Guns dropped all over. SK gets his hands on an AK, and we've seen how he performed with that on the CT side. This could be a straight-up 3-0 half for Dark-Sided.
Well, they opened with double AWP, right? And that's really important to win the first round, because they could be economy starved by the 3rd round. So let's set them up for the next 2 rounds. They're looking really good. And SK hits his 30 bomb. Woo.
First round of overtime to your 30 bomb. That's not too bad, as quite often we love to see anything over around about 25 kills. It's just amazing to see, especially when the entire team can get there. Sadly, not looking too good, but Andy playing on top of the connector box. Won't be able to spot anything. Yam putting over a little bit of utility onto A again, except this time the pace will be upped here by Tainted. Flashes through. Zusi able to push through, picks up one. Knows Noisia is there. Often peeking around the other side, but Andy and Noisia pick up one between them. Makes it down to the 3 versus 3. Instantly, the bomb can be planted, but they will be taking the time, playing on the outer side of the train where SK and James could get in on them. But James just looking through, looking for something. Ofnu just going to get an interesting, nice little position on top of the wooden boarding. SK looking for Inns. Inns is going to be burnt out, forced away. SK will drop him. Flash comes through. Ofnu can drop James. 2 versus 2. Both players have kits. Both players have armor. Church holding in. Will be able to drop Andy. SK trying to push the site. He's got nothing to lose here. Just going to tap the bomb. Both players looking to peek in. He'll pick up one. Oh! The spray almost gets the second. Taps the bomb. And he'll get the 3. He knows he's going down with the bomb. But my goodness, what a 3K. That in itself has also done at least a little bit of damage to Tainted Minds' economy. And both teams I don't know. How will these buys be looking?
Oh, mate. If SK made that frag before he got back onto the ladder, that would have been it. He would have been able to have enough time to be able to defuse the bomb. But he's making impossible scenarios. Like, he's turning them into his favor. He is playing out of his mind. Oh.
Offnu gets aggressive with the AWP himself. Yam not holding it this time, but Andy is in there with an instant refrag. Actually gets hyper-aggressive now, holding the right side of team A, and Offnu just backs away himself. It should just be a stalemate. Church trying to peek down into Brown Halls. SK spots the player, puts the smoke down, backs away, holds on to his M4, still gets the kill onto Church. Ins. No!
Oh.
SK doesn't catch him! And now this round already looking almost closed out for Tainted. They are in a 3 versus 2 though. If Andy gets at least 1 kill here, Noise just gonna fall. Needs to get this kill before that bomb's planted. Sadly, it's down. Ins has full control. He still doesn't have his teammates joining him though. But Zeusy, he doesn't have to worry. He'll drop Andy. And Tainted will actually take a T-sided lead into the CT side.
And now we see our Kiwi brothers leading Tainted Minds to a win. Offnu and Zeusy. Offnu hitting the 30 bomb as well.
Sure, cuzzy. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're sweet ass, bro.
Alright, that's it. I'm just walking out now. I think that's it for the night. Thank you, everybody. Either way, Dark-sided, they've got to go for that single AWP on James this time on the T side. He gets aggressive, playing straight out, gets burnt, and forced back. Ends playing that double AWP yet again with Yam. Yam actually holding straight up into the Brown Halls. Flash comes on through, takes it, but he hits the shot onto Void. SK picks up 1, Zeusy will pick up a double, make it a triple. James now left 1v5, pushing Brown Halls himself. Zeusy will be looking for the quad. James getting a bit close, getting ever so slightly burnt. Yam will pop him and drop him. Picks up the AWP, and Tainted Minds now a single round away from victory.
Zeusy came out huge just then. Anticipated the play. Yam making the shot through smoke. That's just so lucky. It was so lucky. Oh, mate. Tainted Minds, they've made us sweat all night. And this could be it. They could be taking away with the win right now.
They could be. At the same time, I'm not going to entirely put Dark-sided out of this. They've got another buy-in. That's the key. They didn't get the bomb plant, so that money isn't going to be entirely there for them. But as it is, Yam just holding for that angle. Misses! No! Hits James. Gets the tag. Can't get the full frag. Hits the shot onto Andy. And the head! Oh my lord! James will drop him in return. But my god, that was a beautiful shot from Yam. James got to be peeking around with that AWP now, but up close will be. Ins falling. Pushing through. Offnu's able to drop James. Zeusy still playing next to E-Box. Smoke goes down. CT's only holding that single player over on B, which is going to be Church. 3 versus 3. SK, if he can get an entry onto the B site, it's entirely open. He will be able to put that frag, the flash down, sorry. And Zeusy, he's already holding in Pop Dog. It could be all over. They're going to go for that double drop, but no! Zeusy with the double! Oh, too easy for him! Puts the flash out. And Noisia now, 1 versus 3. A position I would usually maybe kind of trust him in against any other tier, verging 1 or 2 side. Sadly, against Tainted Minds, I don't have him to clutch this one out. Peeking around, will spot the TT. We'll get a couple of taps down. He has 15 seconds. If he can get at least a little bit of damage off, he will go into plant the bomb. But he's going to be forced out. 10 seconds. Zeusy behind him. Tainted Minds will knock up the 19 to 16. That game, it had everything. That was beautiful.
So many players stepped up. We saw SK go massive, almost win it for Dark-sided. We saw James step up with the AWP. Zeusy turn it up in overtime. Like, my mouth was like, it just dropped.
I don't even know myself. That was absolutely beautiful. I think SK, even though they lost,
Yeah,
SK has to be my absolute man of the match. I
Definitely.
can't really say exactly what I thought was going to happen there. I did not expect that to go to overtime. I didn't think Darkseid stood a chance, so thank you for proving me wrong. That's to USK and Noisia and James, and it was beautiful.
Huge potential.
Huge potential. That is a key word. And now we actually have the potential for our presenters to say something, so I'm going to actually have to give this one back over to probably you, Dallas.
Thank you very much, Nutters. And that snazzy shirt that Wayfair is wearing there as well. But welcome back to the desk. I'm Dallas Easy Fight today. Joining me here, Thomas Blackout Richmond. And what an absolute game that was. If you're just joining us, we've just seen Tainted Minds narrowly avoid losing to Darksider there in our first overtime of the Alpha Series, 19-16. And what are your first thoughts?
Oh, that was a cracking game. In all honesty, that's probably the game of the tournament so far. Darksider really came out and gave it to Tainted Minds and were damn unlucky not to get the win there, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was an awesome game.
So yeah, Darksided, forcing that overtime when their backs were against the wall as well. And I mean, behind SK just being an absolute machine there. I mean,
yeah, it was an awesome game by him.
I didn't see how many he finished with right up at the end there, but I mean, I know he was well into the 30 bomb. And I mean, this was just one here we just caught at the end. But I mean, when you talk about 3Ks and 2Ks coming out from SK, I think Nutters, he summed it up perfectly there. Which one? Which one? Because there was just so many from this man. And I mean, another sort of standout player for me from the side of Darksided, we're giving him a bit of a ribbing in the last couple of weeks, but James's AWPing, some of those frags were hugely impactful when they were sort of busting out onto the side.
A lot of vital kills for sure.
Anyone else from Darksided that was really stepping up for you?
I felt like they all played well. They all had their moments really. I seen Void on the bomb site of A as a CT, he really locked it down quite a lot there when they were pushing out. He was getting quite a lot of trade frags. But as you said, James, he might not have got a lot of kills, but the kills he got with the AWP were really vital. He was picking Yam quite a few times and stopping them from getting out the T connector and really pushing into that A bomb site, which was solid of him.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a little bit of it here, actually. But, I mean, James, again, huge impact kills there. Nice little highlight here, actually. This one was extremely good. The big thing I want to talk about, though, is, when their backs are against the wall, the side of Tainted Minds, you got to be feeling pretty nervous at that point. And they managed to turn it around in every situation. There was a round where they were almost, as a little bit of a force. The CZ, I think, on Chutch up on the ladder was where it sort of begun. But, that round where they were like almost full eco and they sort of turned it round. And as the game sort of went on, you noticed it more and more as well, that when their backs are against the wall, they're just such a strong team, not just, as individual players. We saw obviously SK being extremely strong, but there it is there, Chutch's first kill there with the CZ. And they managed to win from this point here, still 2 USPs, a couple of Deagles, and a CZ. I mean, what do you have to say?
With a team like Tainted Minds, you pretty much can't count them out of any round. They could have any gun, basically, a pistol, like a Deagle or a CZ, for example, and the lines and aim that they have, they can really change rounds with 1 or 2 kills. And it just shows you here, Zeusy pushing up into a position where the Darksided squad just aren't aware of the kill, aren't aware of a player being that close, and they're taking a lot of map control, and they're using the pistols to their advantage where they don't really have to take long-range duels. It's more close and up front, which gives them a very good opportunity with a pistol as opposed to a rifle.
So yeah, for some of our newer viewers at home, a round like this should never be lost by the terrorist side here. They've got a full kit, they've got armor, they've got fully automatic weapons, and Tainted Minds have got essentially nothing.
Yeah.
When you go in at guys with armor with those pistols, you've got to shoot them at least 3 times in the head just to take them down. So it's just an almost impossible situation, and Tainted Minds did turn that around. The other thing as well is Offnu. What an absolute legend. I mean, the big one for me is, that wall bang through the wall up into halls. That was absolutely great stuff, especially because I think at the time as well, Wayfarer and Nutters were just going, nuts about SK, and then that just changed their tune so quickly. I mean, we're going to see it here as well.
That was a sick shot for sure.
And I mean, he got Noisia down to 2 HP as well, so it was almost, 2 for the price of 1 there.
Offnu's a very, very solid player. I feel like he's been very consistent over this tournament and other tournaments as well. I think he's probably one of the most solidified names going around the scene. That pretty much he puts up numbers basically every single game.
And the other sort of standout, I guess what I'll say was the X factor for me towards the end of the overtime had to be Yam. Yam was just on a whole nother level with those AWPing lines, especially the fact that they're not the easiest shots to hit. You know, they're about a pixel wide, and he's just taking them like, you know, they're just open down the middle of Dust 2.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the key for, you know, Tainted Minds moving forward and getting themselves the win. But, you know, congratulations to them. Obviously, you know, picking up their fourth win, I believe, in the tournament.
Yeah.
Darksided very unlucky there to not pick themselves up, you know, that win.
They can be proud with their performance.
But, I mean, they can be proud with having the best game of the tournament. But, you know, we've got our next game to talk about. We've got Greyhounds taking on Corvidae, and I mean, if that's anything to go by, this could be much of the same.
This could be a cracker for sure. Both of these teams are going to be really keen to play this game, as more than likely both of them will be here in the LPL studios next week playing off in the semi-finals. So they'll both want to... well, Greyhounds obviously might not be if they pick up the win, but they will be at the finals. But both of these teams will be coming over to the LPL studios, so getting a one-up on your team right now would just be a very big confidence booster coming up for the next few weeks.
Yeah, so if you've just sort of joined us and tuned into the tournament, if Darksided managed to pick that game up, they would have made themselves equal with Corvidae, and we would have been in a tiebreaker situation. But after Tainted Minds did manage to pick themselves up the win, they basically have solidified their top spot to come to LAN in the next 2 weeks. And this next game is really going to show us, you know, who's going to be second and third, basically. Corvidae, you know, must win for them. Just to sort of, you know, work their way up the ladder, but same with Greyhound, you know, they want to keep that top spot, so very exciting matchup. What are Corvidae, though, going to need to do coming into this match?
I feel like the last few weeks, Corvidae, everyone knows they've got good tactics, they've got good teamwork, but I feel like the last few weeks they've really been firing on an individual level. Obviously, we talk about Iron pretty much every week. If they want to win, Iron has to be playing well, but I feel like other players like RBZ and Cruden need to be playing well as well. Cruden seems to be getting quite a lot of impact kills these last few weeks throughout this tournament, and if they can really come out on the front foot with a lot of their players playing well, then they're definitely in for a shot here.
And I mean, for the side of Greyhound, so again, we talked about this a little bit earlier as well. A couple of the players are not actually here; they're overseas, representing New Zealand and Australia respectively. So they're going to be without Gratisfaction, and they're going to be without Burn. So I mean, how do you think that's going to impact them coming into this match?
It's definitely going to impact them in terms of their strategic, like how they see and how they play the game. The two players they have replacing them are very high in individual skill, so they're not going to lose too much in terms of fragging ability, but I think you'll see a different style from Greyhounds. They might be a bit more aggressive tonight, a bit more reliant on their aim as opposed to using teamwork so much.
And I mean, you know, I've had, so the two players which are filling in, they've got Dizzy Life filling in for them, and they've also got APOC. I mean, I know Dizzy on a little bit more of a friendly level, you know, he's a great guy, but he's always been sort of this amazing AWPer, so I'm expecting to see, you know, a lot of the same, you know,
a lot of fireworks
that we see from, you know, Gratisfaction. Be quite similar, but quick prediction?
I'm going to go with Greyhounds here just because of how they played last week and how they've been going through this tournament. They've been really strong, so I'm going to go 16-9 for Greyhounds.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got Dexter, and I mean, he is a big player there, and I've got to go with Dizzy since he's playing in this one. I'm going to go 16-6 there for Greyhounds. But let's get right back into the action. Let's throw it over to our casters, Wayfarer and Nutters. Take it away, boys.
Cheers for that, Dallas. And that was it was an interesting game before. I have to say that we've got Greyhound, Corvidae. Obviously, both of these teams are coming over now. That's confirmed. So, honestly, congratulations to both of them. That's the first thing we have to say.
Yeah, congratulations, Corvidae. You made it through.
I can't wait to meet you, Coach Iron. Either way, we will have to sort of decide who we think is going to win this matchup.
Yeah, it is an interesting matchup. We've been hyping up both these teams throughout the entire event. Greyhounds with the two substitutes. It could change things between like the chemistry, the teamwork, but they're superstar players. They're intelligent players. It's going to make it really difficult.
Alrighty,
okay.
That's an interesting one then. So we're going to be coming through onto Cache. An interesting choice of map. Definitely not the usual old Mirage or Inferno that I might almost expect to see between these two teams.
Yeah.
I think Cache is going to be relatively interesting.
How good they were last week, Greyhounds, on Cache. That was impressive. These guys... Ooh.
That was it was the week before. Maybe it's all changed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we can't sort of go all the way back to James Donuts. That's just taking it too far in the past. I do think, however, though, this could definitely still go in their favour, but I do think Corvidae will probably pick up a few more rounds against them.
Well, Corvidae, they've had some close games with Greyhounds just in the midweek. They went 16-13 with them in another event. And, you know, that sort of suggests something. Maybe Corvidae's catching up. I know that their confidence would have been growing. Definitely. So, you know.
Would you remember what map that was on?
No, I can't recall it.
If it was Cash, I'd be happy to. I think it might have been Cash.
Yeah. Oh, was
I
it?
don't know if it was Cash. Can someone tell us if it was Cash? Anybody? We'd probably appreciate it.
Either way, week in, week out, we've seen Corvidae improve.
You reckon
And
this will be a closer one then?
this is the biggest. This is the team that has improved the most throughout this entire event. You know, what we're seeing today could be the peak of their ability. We could see them beating Greyhounds, and it's a great opportunity to do it.
I'd rather not see this be the peak. I want to see them peak on lane.
Well, yeah.
I'll be
Well, I mean,
honest.
leading up to finals, that would be awesome, right?
The one thing I have to note here early is that with the loss of both Grat and Burn, we see that they've not opted for any utility on the CT side early. So quite often in the pistol round, I believe Burn actually pulls out a little bit, or Urcast sometimes does when they've got at least some strategies locked down. Urcast, however, is going to take a bit of damage early, does fall back as the CTs just knock a little bit of damage up over towards the B site. Single player still in mid with the bombers. Cruden, he has no armor, but he does have a couple of flashes and smokes. Dexter and Dizzy holding onto the A site, and I do believe holding this crossfire in the hopes that maybe if Corvidae peak they try and go for a double out A main and Squeaky, but instead the bomber's going to be making its way over towards B. Urcast just holding on. APOC, he's going to be absolutely crucial in here. Flash comes on through. Sorry, the smoke actually comes through. The flashes fly through as well. Dick Stacy's going to fall in the hands of Herbs. Iron picks up one as well. Urcast at the back of sight. He's able to pick up one frag onto Ares. Looking for Cruden as well, but he's going to fall in the end. Dizzy drops Herbs, trying to get this push through. Coming through from heaven. Iron is down. And both players now coming from the same position. Flash comes through. Cruden still on site. Iron, no, he spots out Dexter. He does manage to drop him. Dizzy will fall, and Dans goes down just as well. And we just had a real quick technical pause in this one, but the pistol round, yet again, it goes surprisingly in favour of Corvidae. Not where I expected it to go, especially with the firepower of the USPs just being slightly...
Not as dominant as we would have hoped.
yeah.
Urcast collecting a tag early on, putting him on 23 HP. What we sort of saw from the CT players might be how the way like this match goes, like more of a puggy sort of style, like default sort of CS. Like when we saw Greyhounds open up on Cage last time, we saw like quite a tactical sort of approach to the pistol round. Tonight we saw one middle, 2A, 2B, and I think that could be how the rest of the game goes for them as CT. Just going into the defaults and yeah, just lacking that sort of teamwork and knowledge that they have between teammates, which they have to do with two subbins.
Can I be really cheeky here?
Mm-hmm.
Corvidae have now picked up the exact same amount of rounds as Darksided did against Greyhound. So anything from here is an improvement.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we still don't seem to be able to let that one go, right?
Oh, it's difficult to let certain things go, and that is one of them.
Hey, they certainly bounced back tonight. Far out.
Yeah.
They know that they're on national TV, and they showed up. Oh, what a game. What a cracker of a game.
Dexter, just going to get caught out at Squeaky, but Herbs is going to be the man to take all the damage. Just backing away, and he takes even more. Dropped to 11 points of health. Dexter will just be holding an angle now on Squeaky from Forklift. The T's taking that early damage could be rather costly. Iron does have an AK. Maybe worth him swapping it out with Ares or even Dan's. But he's still going to be able to pick up the frag onto Dexter. Nice work for him. Dan's putting up the flash, just trying to get some aggression towards B main. Urcast holding just on the side of this smoke. Dan's just looking around. Urcast will be able to push through, gets a bit of damage off onto Dan's, but it won't be too much. Forced back. Ares takes the damage as well, and now all 4 of the 5 players on Corvidae are tagged. Dan's is going to go down. Nice, easy work for him. Cruden's able to pick up 1. Irons drops Dick Stacy. Irons had 8 points of health before he got his first kill. Dizzy and APOC now looking to rotate through. And my goodness, they could easily pick up 3 kills here.
Well, being on such low HP, it's so good that the team is sticking together and trading each other, and that's why they're getting through this. It could have easily gone the wrong way.
APOC, does manage to drop Herbs. That hands over the Mac 10. But as it is, Dizzy and APOC will just be able to hold on. Dizzy just needs to hold on to that deagle, essentially. If he's able to get a kill here, even just tapping a single player here is useful. Gets Iron. Will still push in towards the site. Gets his hands on the AK. But running through, he just has to hold on with that 79 points of health. He should be good. And he will get away. He'll be fine. Ares and Cruden both survive. But down to 2 players surviving on each side isn't entirely positive for either, I suppose, either team.
It's incredibly positive that they came out of that with an AK and Mac 10. I mean, that was just with pistols. I mean, that little bit of damage that they have with the AK bringing into this round, if they can repeat what they did last, you know, that could be the round in their favour.
I suppose the simple fact that you've got that AK in the hands of APOC, he has armor, it's been dropped over to him, it's easy enough to do. It means that they don't actually have to buy much into it. It does mean that it's at least a small bonus. And Dan's just being very careful as he peeks around that sunroom and B main area. Dizzy holding a very tight angle here on A main. The aggression could pay off rather nicely, but it looks like the T's will be aiming to play slightly more towards mid. Urquest is looking. Dan's going to take a little bit of damage and back away. Urquest is able to get away with his life, but that's almost going to force the rotate now from the rest of the CTs. Ares looking to push through with the other 3 Ts heading in this direction, and already Urquest, he's able to drop Dan's through the smoke. Iron, he's able to drop Urquest. APOC gets one back with the AK, but he's going to fall. That is the weapon down. Dexter in behind them. Herbs will drop him. And now a 3 versus 2. The bomb's still trying to make its way onto the site, and this could be absolutely crucial. Dick Stacey's got his hands on the AK, but Ares will drop him. The key now is whether Dizzy can maybe get his hands on the AK and get out of here. Indeed, he will, but he's not going to aim to get out. He knows that they have at least to buy into the next round, so doing any sort of damage he can, such as dropping Cruden to 20 points of health, is at least a little bit useful. Expecting Ares to possibly peek the B main area. But none of these T's actually getting aggressive towards that tray room. And Dizzy just may be able to hold on to both the gun and his life here. Edgy. Dizzy has managed to drop Cruden. Herbs and Ares now left to back away. They will both survive. Corvidae, a nice, easy, clean 3-0 start.
Yeah, I hope they have the faith to be able to take on Greyhounds. You know, playing these guys, the big dogs, APOC, Dizzy, yeah, they're big individual players.
Indeed they are, but now the big fact is going to be that Greyhound do have a full buy. They've got Dexter with the AK, they've got the M4s out, they've got Dizzy on the AWP. As we had a little chat before, you and I, off camera, we had a little chat expecting Dizzy to be the AWPer. And
yes.
Indeed...
Yeah, well, straight away, I mean, it's a great opportunity for him to step up. He's played for Legacy as the primary AWPer, and he is ruthless with that. He is such a good player.
Lovely work from APOC, though, utility-wise, and picking up a double on both Dan's and Ares. And already we can see a dominance that we were expecting early from Greyhound. It's coming out.
Huge plays from APOC, and that's what we expect to see. He has been playing this game competitively for like the last 10 years at least. You know, he was one of the best players in 1.6. He took a team all the way to the finals to, and he took his team all the way to WCG. You know, this guy is a beast, and if he shows up anywhere near the form that he has been able to show up to in the past, yeah, he can be a dominant force. Corvidae could really struggle with that.
Problem is, Herbs has to show up right here, right now. Needs to find a kill onto Urquest, but Urquest getting the angle already, is ready. Pops off a few shots. Herbs does get his hands on the bomb and back away, though. There's 40 seconds to play with. Dizzy will be waiting, though. Drops him and pops him. And as you said, he has played for Legacy as their main AWP. Before, that was sort of on the transition of, I believe it was Matt CD into their team. Now, at that point, he sort of dropped off. He ended up sort of hanging around for a while, but overall now, he's actually fragging out okay. The T's actually forced down to essentially an eco here. CZs, Deagles, Cruden. You see those?
Yeah.
Two guns means double the damage, double the firepower, and double the accuracy, right? I can't wait to see what Cruden can do with this. But Iron is getting a little bit tagged up. Ares will be able to drop Dick Stacey. And Cruden, I really just want to see him rush out here somewhere. I just want to see this turn into something amazing. He's also the only one with armor. Dexter is going to be able to peek from Z again. Doesn't want them to get their hands on that gun. And Iron will be caught out, will be dropped, having taken damage from both APOC and now Dexter. Herbs and Cruden both looking to pop out onto this A side, it seems. Ares with the flash may try and pop that out to give them at least a slight chance. Put the smoke out, cover off truck. And Dizzy will just put down an incendiary. And lovely work already with the utility usage merging in with this team. Dizzy's able to drop Cruden over the top of, I believe, the rafters actually. He's able to get another. And APOC will drop Dens. Corvidae looking okay.
Well, they've really shut Corvidae down now. They've called off, so it'll be interesting to see what they can offer when it comes to full buy. We haven't seen that yet, really. Ares open with the Deagle on mid. That looked promising, but we didn't see much eventuate. We saw one player isolated on A side for the CTs, but by the time the T side players actually executed, it was too late. They had already three CTs backtracked onto A side, so timing a little bit off there. They needed to be a bit more aggressive.
And you talk about aggressive, and that's coming out from the CTs. Urcast able to drop Dan's backs away as well. APOC's able to just peek around in the vents. And lovely work as APOC will be able to drop Cruden. Expecting another player to possibly be towards B main. APOC just going to get boosted into vents. Ares, I don't know if he spotted that out. I don't know how much of that he will have seen. But Urcast is holding the angle, just waiting for him. Iron peeking into mid. Does no damage to Dick Stacey. Doesn't take any either. Flash comes over, but Dick Stacey, he's already backed away. APOC from vents takes advantage. Urcast will drop Ares. And Herbs left in a 1 versus 5. Just needs to make sure he dies. Gets that loss bonus. But trying to take Urcast down with him, he won't have any success. A nice simple 3k. And Greyhound even the scores right back up.
Now this is going to be a big play for Corvidae. It's really important moving forward to build up that momentum, shift the economy back into their favor. Be interesting to see what they bring.
Talking about bringing, it will be Iron straight out on the AWP. Armor, no helmet. And the single smoke has already been popped away. He's going to be holding all the way from T-spawn, so this would suggest possibly a mid to A hit, as Dexter will be able to drop Cruden early from Z. Ares peeks out and falls as well. These weapons surprisingly doing 0 damage for what they should be getting up to. Herbs will peek around, will drop Dexter, brings it down to that 3 versus 3. Dizzy looking to peek over toxic barrels. He's spotted. Oh my lord, neither player gets a shot off. And Herbs will just have to flash out. Dizzy goes full white towards Forklift Court, but he still drops Iron. Oh. APOC from behind drops Herbs, and APOC with the second. My goodness, Greyhound did not deserve that. Dizzy should have gone down.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect timing from the split with Highway and A main, but Dizzy just had the awareness to be able to stay up, hidden in that corner, and he killed the guy on A main really quickly and stayed alive.
That was absolutely beautiful play there from Greyhound, and when you see them using when you see them using stand-ins, you wonder. I mean, those kills came through from APOC and Dizzy, the 2 stand-ins. Usually you don't expect that sort of teamwork.
High IQ players. These guys both know how to play at a high level. They know what's expected of them. They know what they need to do in certain positions.
Yeah, it really is hard having, like 400 IQ, but never having the mechanical skills to show it off. Not that I know about that either. Ares and Dans now have combined. They've made it. I don't know what's happened, but APOC has happened onto Ares. Brings it down to that 3 versus 2. Dexter still over on the A side. The bomb rotating onto B. Players essentially everywhere now for Corvidae. Just trying to get a little bit aggressive through the Greyhound. But APOC, he's going to be in Z. He'll be able to make his way towards the B site. Dan's already holding extremely close. No smoke there either. Dan's will fall. Cruden now left on this B side alone. Dexter rotating through to assist. Cruden expecting the play to come from heaven. Both players, though, it does seem will come through tree. Smoke goes down, just covers off that B main area. Cruden takes a bit of damage, picks up one on Dexter. APOC now has to clutch this out, has to find the quad kill. Knows where at least one of these players is. Looking for another, he'll be able to drop Cruden, but Herbs with the CZ picks him up. And I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know where that round came from, but Corvidae have just swooped in and picked it up.
Those CZs are doing work, and that was tidy play from Herbs and Cruden. Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a low IQ play from Dan sitting in tree room. I don't know what he was trying to think. It was a free shot. I think he needs to just sort of waken up a little bit. He can't be going forward doing that.
Could he be going backwards doing that? I do have to wonder, as Cruden will flash himself into a main, gives Iron a chance to peek as well. Nobody going to be playing over the top of that smoke. And Corvidae, you don't usually feel like you have to take a main control as a T, but surprisingly, if CTs are getting quite aggressive, you do have to at least make sure that you're guaranteeing it for yourself, especially if you're getting there slightly late. Corvidae almost set up for an A hit this time. They have a player in Squeaky, they have 2 players in A main. The remaining players sort of lurking back towards that mid-garage A main side. So Iron looking to peek through. Oh, doesn't manage to hit the shot, but Molotovs will go down. Will force that player through. Misses the shot again. Dizzy gets out absolutely scot-free. And now Corvidae have to at least push here. Dexter holding up on rafters. Iron's able to hit at least that shot. But already the bomb, it has to be very careful where it goes. Ares is going to fall. APOC through the smoke, using the M4, A4 this time. No matter what it is, Urcast finishes off Dan's. And Greyhound pick up another round, and this game is just back and forth.
That shot from Iron could have been a round changer if he got that opening frag. It looked directly on him. I don't know how it missed. Maybe he flinched, maybe it's CSGO. But yeah, once again, APOC going huge. Is that 16 frags? Far out, he is going big. He's
15.
showing up.
15.
Oh.
That's not that much.
That's
it's
not
only
that much.
15.
No, only 15, yeah.
Goodness me. In 9 rounds. It doesn't even matter. Either way, yet again, Dexter, he's actually taking the A main control this time as a CT. As I said, not something you always expect, but that aggression can pay off. He only has a UMP as well, so these close range battles will favour him ever so slightly over the Glocks. The Deagles, obviously, no matter what range they're at, if they hit you in the face, you're going to be hurting a little bit. Might have a sore tooth. Or all of them. Maybe hurting.
Yeah, I think
So
a
will your
CZ
brain.
will knock all your teeth out. Far out.
Dexter, he'll be looking to knock out some teeth here. He'll knock out Cruden's. He'll be looking for a few more. He'll get Herbs. He'll tap away with the USP. He'll drop Dan's. Iron and Ares now still looking. Ares actually hits a double. I think he one-digged Dizzy. Oh my god. Yeah, he drops Dexter as well, but now the 2 remaining players have 25 points of health between them.
I gotta see a replay of that. Was that a collect? Oh. Was he even aiming? Oh.
Well, I'd love to know where that came from, but APOC, he'll drop Iron. Ares now left 1v3. He shouldn't get anything out of this. He does have a Deagle, though, and the possibility of 1-deagging 3 more people. Dick Stacy's in behind him, though.
Wow.
He's 1-deagged APOC! How did we not see this?
His Deagle's been on point. I think I've seen him make about 4 Deagle kills so far throughout this game, and probably more kills than he's had with rifles.
How are we missing these things? I wanted to see him just go pew, 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 pew. That would have been amazing. Either way, Greyhound will pick up their 6th round. Does bring Corvidae away from that eco and back in on rifles. Sadly, 3 of those players not getting any utility out. Herb's not even getting utility up with the Galil of all things.
This is interesting. Urcast on the AWP, showing Grat how it's done, maybe. Grat, if you're back at home, watch out, mate. It might be your replacement if he lands a few of these shots.
Can't really replace him when he's already on the team, though. Dick Stacy and APOC, though, they'll pick up the first 2 kills, instantly giving that huge advantage to Greyhound. Urcast will drop Cruden, expecting Ares pushing around close. Whoa! The no-scope! I don't know if that was a no-scope or a quick-scope, but my god, Urcast! Ares comes over the top and has his head annihilated off his body.
Yeah, sorry, Grat, you're in trouble, mate. You're now secondary AWPer. Yeah, Urcast has stepped up to the plate.
I'm pretty sure that before Urcast started IGLing for them, he was pretty proficient on the AWP as well. So, yeah, nah. Digging deep. Either way, Ares, he's pulled out a Deagle again. I'd love to see what he can do. APOC will drop Iron. Cruden expecting flashes through that smoke. Dexter just going to be holding along in mid, expecting a possible boost. Something that we haven't really seen used on an actual rifle round yet from Corvidae. Herbs just peeking around through the squeaky door. Could get caught out in a second as Cruden actually peeks in front. Herbs will fall. Dex picks up a nice little double. Aries now. He does have Dan's, but we'll just ignore that Dan's... Yeah, see, we'll ignore he's there as Dick Stacey does kill him. Aries has to find 5 1-digs. Dex makes it a bit too easy.
Yeah, there's some of these buy rounds for the CT players, for Greyhounds, they've been really clean plays. Like, they've come out of the round with 4, 5 players still alive. They're not dropping much. See, with Corvidae with 4 rounds, I'd like to see them at least get 6 going forward. So this round's going to be really important.
You know, if they could win a round going entirely backwards and not looking at any of the players, I'd be very surprised. Okas is going to get aggressive.
Catch them off guard, you reckon, eh?
In checkers. Iron does have that AWP up. And the angle will go in favour of Urkas. He did not deserve to win that duel out. But he does, and he's instantly gotten that aggression. Shots through the door from Herbs. Won't do any sort of damage to Dexter or Dizzy. But Herbs actually jumps over, so scared that those shots are going to keep coming through. And that's the sort of play... I'm not saying that he didn't need to, but it almost feels like Corvidae are playing entirely cautiously now. They're almost scared to push, knowing that the firepower Greyhound have in behind these rounds.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a lot from Corvidae in terms of aggression. We saw them take middle earlier, and the trades didn't go in their favour. It went CT's favour. I probably would try that again, and hopefully, come out with the entry. I think it would change things quite considerably.
Yes, Herbs will be boosted over in mid. Molotovs go over it. It's essentially an execute with 40 seconds left. Dick Stacey picking up Dan's. APOC actually being the player traded out does know, at least leaves him knowing there is another player around that area. Dick Stacey's moved his way back up to Highway onto that E-box, looking to peek over. Dizzy's managed to drop Aries. Player looking to push out from Squeaky is Cruden. He has Herbs supporting him from Highway, but Cruden will fall. Dick Stacey just going to peek around here, looking for Herbs. He'll drop him. Herbs does manage to drop Dizzy, but the AWP will be retrievable. Keeping that double AWP set up, and I'd like to just point out Dick Stacey was on a single point of health there.
And APOC still carrying on with the show. 19 frags. I'm not sure what he's up to at the moment. Do you know what team he's going to be playing for? You got any hot gossip?
At this rate, he may as well be playing for Greyhound.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to play for Tainted Minds, and he was just subbed, a couple of months ago for Ints, right?
To be fair, a lot of people used to play for Tainted Minds, mate.
Yeah, they have had a lot of players for them. Star players, though.
Either way, Urkas will hold nicely on that first shot, drops Dan's, backs away into checkers, not the place you'd expect him to have moved to, especially when you see him backing into that smoke. Nade goes down, that's going to chunk nobody apparently, as Cruden and Iron will still keep the majority of their health. Another nade, that one chunked Iron, I knew that was coming. Told him. That'll be one for APOC, he'll be looking for another, he'll drop. And now Cruden gets the single kill, he's looking for another. That nade, got a hit. Kobe will come through. APOC will fall. And another nade, oh my goodness. This could just be a kill with a nade here. Oh. It will be the incendiary, it goes down, it backs away, and Dizzy will drop Cruden.
He just had so much time to throw that nade, didn't he? He just lined it up, shot it, boom.
Boom.
Oh. Well, Corvidae is certainly in trouble. That was a buy round, again, a forced buy round. They get the full money bonus at least going into the last, so they can still have AK's armor, and looks like they're going for a tactical play towards middle and A.
Yeah, 2 players in mid, 3 over towards A, split between Squeaky and A main. Dizzy could have caught the angle through that. That nade going to do a bit of damage as well. Iron takes a little chunk. If Dizzy was able to hit that through the door, that would have been beautiful. Just up a little, up and to the right, up and to the right, just up and to the right. Up and to the... Okay, he's obviously not listening to me. I don't blame him. I probably wouldn't listen to some of my advice as well. But he will be flashing in for possibly Dexter to peek here from Fork. Expecting a player around, and he knows he's there. He will drop Cruden. Lovely work. And almost forces Corvidae to try and take that mid control, which has been almost given to them but Dick Stacy playing around white box. Dex is able to drop Herbs, peeking through. APOC picks up one. Dick Stacy drops Iron. Aries will come through. That brings it down to the 2 versus 3 with both Aries and Dens heavily tagged. Urkas coming through with the CZ. Last player is going to be out mid. Urkas just peeks around. Urkas actually going to fall at the hands of Dens. And now, with just 35 seconds to go, he can get his hands on the bomb. And he can go to either side. The problem being these CTs are very much ready for him. Dizzy. Oh! Just going to hold on. Only a single tap will kill Dens. But Dens, he's taking so long. He needs to go somewhere. He has to get through the vents. And he has to break that second vent. He gives away his positioning. And instantly Dexter, single tap, drops him down. And Corvidae now in a very awkward position at the start of the second half.
Well, this is a dominant display by Greyhounds, which we expect. I mean, after last week, putting away Tainted Minds, we thought the 2 subs might, you know, disassemble them a little bit, but they're just proving how strong they are.
Yeah, when you sort of look and you think, oh, no, we've got 2 subs, how's this going to go? And then you find that one of those subs is just absolutely annihilating the other team. You have at least a little bit of confidence. You're a bit happier with that.
Well, it's a little bit hard for Corvidae to be able to counter as well. They don't really know what they're going up against. Greyhounds are playing considerably different to how they would normally. A bit harder to read, and nice opening frag from Herbs onto A side. It could be a good pistol round leading into this for Corvidae.
Yeah, but Dexter gets up onto the rafters.
Nice.
He's actually going to fall at the hands of Herbs as well. Nice work from him. Looking for some more if he can possibly get it. But Dick Stacy just peeking around. Shots off through the smoke. The bomb is planted relatively safely for a main. And Dizzy still playing from Squeaky. All 5 players coming straight from Truck and Iron actually annihilates APOC. Aries will be there. Dizzy. Oh, he's going to get run into here. The door. Oh, gets the ting through the door. Dick Stacy picks up one. Cruden's going to fall, but Aries is still on the bomb. He has the kit. It works. Cruden peeks through. And all the T's shall die. But my goodness, what a push in the dink.
Through the door, that was impressive. I mean, Corvidae, that was a really impressive round, and that's just what they need, because we need a little bit of excitement, a little bit of oomph, these guys to get their confidence going back. I think we're building up to something, you know. Hopefully they get through these echo rounds pretty clean, you know, get a 3-0. That'd be really good, like, leading forward into the bye rounds.
I have to agree with you on that one, Chris. It's entirely dependent on how this goes. And Cash, it can be a relatively CT-sided map. Especially in the right team's hands.
I think especially in a pug sort of setup as well. Like the T side executes aren't going to be as clean. They're not going to be as timed, fast. They're not going to have each other's back as well as they should.
Dizzy just peeking out into mid, looking for something. Dan's going to peek him over white box. Oh! What a dig! But Herbs will pick up one, will pick up a second. Herbs gets a nice little double in there. Leaving Dexter with the P250. He will fall. Herbs picking up 3.
Man,
my God.
Right. We saw Herbs go massive last week on Cobble, dropping a 30 bomb. If he brings that tonight, whoo! I mean, this makes Corvidae so much more interesting. Iron, Cruden, Herbs, like, they're all showing up. This is what I like about them. They just seem to be getting better and better and better.
I suppose that's all they can ask for. Greyhound, they didn't get the bomb plant in the second round, so they will just have to settle for AKs with utility from the first round bomb plant. The difference being is that they can't exactly get that AWP up early onto either Dizzy or Urcast, and also the fact that they're left with essentially just execution utility. They don't have much other choice than, you know, maybe a couple for, you know, flashing around a corner trying to get those early team picks, compared to, I suppose, having that extra utility on everybody where you're able to get a full execute out and even smoke off a couple of extras. As Aries will have that team flash come through, but it'll be Cruden peeking from Z. Drops Urcast, but Aries gets in there as well. Dizzy gets a refrag on him. And straight on through. Iron now left 1 versus 3. Final CT over towards that B site, rotating through CT. And the plant will come through. Dizzy keeping this open for A main. APOC in there. Soon to be supported by Dick Stacy. And Corvidae already, this rifle round, not going in their favour.
No, not at all. I was a little surprised with how they played it. 2 players were almost in no man's land. You know, when that player steps through smoke, he's basically a 1-for-1 player, and the guy that's open on highway, he hasn't got much cover. He's got no escape route. Like, they died really quickly. They were able to pick up like the first 2 frags, but they both died. and set for the third highway player with no teammate to trade him a certain death. Just wasn't a fan.
No, Corvidae will force up with PD50s, CZs. Herbs actually gets the smoke in there as well, as the majority of these players will be looking for, I suppose, anything they can get. Herbs just gonna smoke down. Dick Stacy looking to peek out. Squeaky just opens the door. Herbs will turn his attention ever so slightly. Molotov to force him away from Forklift. Not that he was there in the first place. But Dick Stacy still looking. He thinks he knows Herbs is still there. APOC must know at least something as well, but it's whether Herbs has managed to rotate all the way back into Forklift, whether he's holding a very tight, close angle. But the key is actually that the bomb is heading towards B on Dexter's back. Herbs' head is there. APOC will drop him. Will also drop Ares. Dizzy's drop Cruden and Iron. And Dan's. Well, a little bit too simple. Greyhound, get that round. Don't drop a single player. If they'd at least dropped one, drop Dick Stacy, just get that rifle out of their hands, force them to rebuy it, because even then their money, it at least shuts them down for that next round.
Well, it's clear that APOC's not short on practice. He is playing sharp. 24 frags. Still more rounds to go. Yeah, he's doing work.
Absolutely doing work, as Corvidae will yet again be forcing him with CZs, little bits of armor. Cruden going this time for a smoke and flash. Dick Stacy just looking for someone. No. Player at Forklift won't be able to get the peek out. Herbs, however, will actually drop Dizzy on the counter boost. Lovely work there. Dick Stacy drops Iron and the spray control to drop Dan's. Herbs over the top again. Drops APOC. And my goodness, they obviously expected him to have dropped back. Sadly, he hasn't. Now Dick Stacy's left alone on this A site. There are players in all positions. Herbs has come over, and he's got his hands on the AK. Urkes is able to drop Cruden, and now a 2 versus 3. Ares with the CZ peeks through and drops him. Dexter will drop Ares, and now the bomb will rotate off towards B. Herbs with the AK.
That's really smart for a play from Dexter to go round. He knew that Herbs was on boost. He'd be located around that area. Really clever that he went to B.
Yes, and Dick Stacy should be the man finding the frag, but Herbs will actually be rotating through relatively slowly. Checks out Squeaky and all, but Herbs will spot Dick Stacy, will drop him. Gives him at least a chance towards the bomb, even if it is just to run away anyway. Dexter expecting this push from Vent. Dexter should be very much aware. Indeed he is. And Dexter will drop Herbs. Greyhound Gaming knock it up to a 14-6 lead.
A little bit of bloodlust there. I think he really should have saved that AK going forward. Their economy has been broken. I mean, double echoes. We've seen that twice now. It's just too much. Too many rounds giving away. You want to be able to be at your best. You want those rifles.
Yes, we will see Corvidae get a buyout. 4 M4s. Iron does pull out that CT-sided AWP. Greyhound not seeming too focused on any sort of scopes, as Dexter will attempt to tap down Ares. Iron still going to be holding an angle instead from check, as Ares may actually just try and go for a little jiggle here. Try and bait out a shot or two. But Urkes, he's in mid. The only player over towards B is indeed Dexter. Urkes just got a Molotov off in vents. Does ensure that Iron and Ares have not pushed that aggressively against him. Cruden still holding right in behind white box. Urkes just going to put the flash out. Ares actually boosted up into vents after that, knowing that he doesn't have to make any noise, but Urkes gets the flick and drops him perfectly. Expecting another player in mid. He'll pick up Cruden. Lovely work. Brings it down to that 5 versus 3. Urkes looking to get even more of an advantage, but Dans will get one frag. Looking for a second. APOC trying to hunt. Dick Stacy's dropped Herbs over on A. APOC going hard. Drops Dans. And Iron now left 1v4. He's in Z. Head peeks out. APOC will drop him. Greyhound knock themselves up to 15. This game not as tight as we were hoping.
No, not at all. No one's really showed what they can do for Corvidae. They've been quite disappointing, to be honest. I thought they would be offering a lot more. But, you know, each player just sort of getting picked in the open. It's sort of painful to watch. Losing in these 1v1 duels. Going into this is a must-win round for them to be able to stay in the game. And an early aggression is paying off towards B.
Paying off. That is paid for itself. Aries picking up a nice early double, but a single refrag coming through has left this A site almost wide open. Single player, I believe, has actually pushed through Squeaky. And now APOC holding in mid, just waiting for these players. Urcast is able to drop Aries, expecting these players through vents as well. Dens will fall. APOC can get aggressive, looking for that kill. Cruden will be able to drop him down to the 2v2, but the bomb rotating, heading straight over to B. Cruden and Herbs. Herbs is able to pick up the AK. Dick, Stacy, and Urcast. Actually just going to rotate out towards A. They must have heard enough information to make that decision. And now both players, one heading through vents, the other will have to go on a slightly longer rotate. Actually going to be opting to go through the mid garage. And Herbs just peeking around. Spots out Urcast, but Urcast still comes out slightly better off by staying alive. Dick Stacy tagged to 17. Both players now coming, one from Z, one from Highway. That'll be a lot of damage going down onto Herbs. That'll be Cruden picking up one. Urcast looking for something. Pops off shots, drops one, but Herbs gets in there. He has the kit, he has a clue. And he will pick up Corvidae's 7th round.
A slight spark there. That's what we need to see from Corvidae. They need to come through in these clutch rounds. These clutch rounds inspire your teammates. They amp them up. And the spark has not been lit tonight for Corvidae. The water's been on them all night. We need them to show up. We need individual players to get those double frags, those entries.
I'd like to point out that in regulation rounds, only 23 rounds in, APOC is currently sitting on 27 kills.
Huge.
It took SK until overtime in the previous game to get his 30 bomb. We're already looking good for APOC, but they only need one more round as well. So he'll be going hunting. If he can get those kills, he'll be happy. Nade heading straight on down. Iron has a single point of health. 1. That's like less than 2. Aries looking to get aggressive towards Checkers, but Dizzy has managed to drop Dan's. That'll be Herbs going down as well. Urcast picking up that frag, and no refrags coming through. Urcast drops Iron. Lovely work. Cruden and Aries now left in the 2 versus 5. Aries caught out. Will pick up one. Looking for a second. Will drop APOC. Will drop Urcast. Oh my goodness, Aries. You don't deserve these, but you're still going. He gets an AK. He's looking for Dexter and Dizzy now. That'll be Dizzy dropping him. And Cruden looking for this 1 versus 2. If he can spot either player, he will. He'll be Dizzy. Dizzy cleans him up, finishes him off. And Greyhound absolutely annihilate there. 16-7. Nowhere near as close as we thought it was going to be. You and I were like, oh, 16-30. Maybe it'll be 16-14. Could we even see another overtime? Maybe Corvidae are just going to be land boys.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, they've guaranteed their spot into the finals. That was a bit of a letdown from them, but they looked disorientated. They looked like they didn't bring their A game. Maybe they just had a bad night, you know?
Well, I mean, essentially that game, it goes in favour of Greyhound. I don't think we expected it to go any other way in the end. I think we were both very confident that it would go in their favour. Corvidae were going to struggle either way.
Yeah.
But overall, that at least it cements that top 3 for us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, to have a little bit more of a chat about who that top 3 is going to be and who is going to be coming up next, though, I think I'm going to have to throw this back over to Dallas.
Thank you very much there, Nutters. And that shirt from Wayfarer, again, is still just on point, but not as on point as obviously Greyhound there, solidifying themselves, you know, in that top spot. So that's absolutely great to see. And the subs as well, you know, they were just...
On fire,
they just definitely showed up this evening. APOC was just absolute unstoppable at the beginning there, was he not?
Yeah, no, APOC had an awesome game, to be honest with you. I think he ended up on, what, 27 for 11 or something
like
around
that. Just shy of the 30 bomb there. But yeah, also Dizzy as well, you know, he might not have been getting a lot of kills towards the end of the match, but, you know, I sort of mentioned him as, you know, one of those key players there as well. And I mean, it shows the strength of Greyhound as a team, you know, that they can play with 2 substitutes that don't know all of their strategies back to front. You know, they just kind of slot their way in. And I mean, we'd see here, you know, Dizzy, just a nice little peak of brilliance there. Let's not take away from Herbs picking up a nice 3k, I think, in the finish of this round. But, you know, you just see little just moments of greatness from, you know, players like this. And they still have, you know, the standard, I guess, the standard lineup, the standard cast. Dexter was just doing work. Urcast, what a monster he was.
Yeah, no, Urcast, he played really big that game. To be fair, it seems like how they play every week, basically. All 5 of their players seem to have rounds where they just step it up and play really well. For example, you see someone playing on the B side, once they go B, they lock it down, and the same happens on A. That's why I find Greyhounds a really scary team. All 5 of their players, even tonight, obviously they were using 2 subs, but their subs filled in basically as the other 2 players would, and they're just a hard team to beat. All 5 of their players always firing on all cylinders and playing well.
So if you're just joining us here, we've just seen Greyhound solidify their first place spot in the Alpha Invitational, taking down Corvidae 16-7. But, it doesn't sell the whole story. Corvidae did start off very strong, a couple of moments from a lot of those players there. One of them that comes to my mind, Cruden with that nade kill, pushing it onto B was so close. Obviously he ended up getting overrun just a touch there, but this one was quite good. And you got to give it to our obs there as well, to catch the nade perfectly like that.
For sure.
A little bit of Kobe for you. Does get overrun there on the site. But, for Corvidae, what are they going to need to work on moving forward? Because they have solidified their spot, in the top 3. They will be coming to LAN next week for the semi-finals. So, what do you think they need to work on moving forward?
I honestly feel like Corvidae will be very disappointed with that game. As far as I know, they won both pistol rounds, which should guarantee you 6 rounds theoretically, and as far as I know they didn't get echoed. Maybe on the second half they did, but they had at least 5 rounds there, which they had from winning the pistol round, and to end up with only 7 rounds really shows that their gun rounds weren't up to scratch in this game. So I think they're going to have to maybe look at their tactics and how they were approaching the map. They didn't really seem to get much mid control or anything like that.
So you mentioned tactics as such, but was that down to tactics, or was that more like just pure fragging ability?
Well, to be fair, obviously you can always have some sort of tactic to counter any sort of play. If you're an in-game leader and you see a team is playing in the aggressive style, or they're using their aim a lot and pushing like a puggy team, you have something to fall back on as a team, where you either play really passive or you get up in their face or something like that. I felt like they didn't really bring too much to the table that game, plus the fact that they were out-aimed and out-skilled individually really just made it hard for them in general.
And our predictions as well at the start, we're both there at the end. I'm sitting here going, come on, push it over the edge.
Classic
and then,
Greyhound
of course,
Aries
out of nowhere just, comes through, keeps their hopes alive in both of those last few rounds. And I think you're on, on the 7th round there going, yep, now come on, boys, we've got this. Keeping us on the edge of the seat. So I was hoping Corvidae were going to make a big comeback, but I think, both of these teams should be proud, solidifying themselves in the top 3 spots
definitely.
there.
Corvidae's had a very good season overall.
But now, it is time. We have the big dogs. It's going to be Disorder taking on LOL 1-2-3. And both of these teams here still waiting to get themselves a first win, so it's a big game here. Pride is on the line for both of these teams.
Most definitely. You don't want to end the group stages without a win, so both of these teams, although they can't qualify for the tournament, the semi-finals next week, they still really want to end this tournament with a win under their belt and not go home in the last spot and without a win. Yeah,
no, of course. And moving in when there obviously would be a Season 2, they obviously don't want to come off, that 0 wins. You don't want to be the team that got 0 wins. For Disorder, it's not really trying to make excuses for them as such, but, they were put together at the last second. If you are new to the show, they were filling in for a team that did go overseas. So, but the good news for Order fans everywhere tonight is we do have some new players filling in for them this evening. And, the big one there is Alistair for me. Alistair plays on the main roster, and he is obviously one to watch out for.
Yes,
I'm just going to have to read them off my little pen and pad here that's just in. But we've got Stevie, M-Swag, Flicks, and Sync. So for the side of Order, a lot of new players here, basically guys we've never seen before. Who are we looking out for?
This team, I guess, they have Alistair would obviously be the main threat. He's a starting member in the core lineup for the Order, so obviously he is a very good player. However, Flicks and Sync have recently been playing for the Atletico squad, who were one of the top 5 teams in the region. So those 2 players are obviously players to watch, but I feel like this whole team in general, really any of them can fire up and bring anything on the day, so it'll be an interesting game for sure.
And the counter argument to that as well is LOL 1-2-3 haven't had the easiest ride. It's been a very tough one for them. They haven't played extremely well, but hopefully now's going to be their chance to get themselves that first win. Quick prediction, Tom?
I'm going to go with Order here, actually, 16-11.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. It looks like tonight's the night where we're agreeing with each other for the whole evening, but I'm going to have to take order as well. I'm going to say it's going to be a bit closer than that, maybe 16-13. But let's
Should
get
be
right
inside.
back into the action. Let's get over to our casters. Nutters and Wayfarer, take us away to the promised land.
Ah, cheers for that, Dallas. I do have to wonder whether this is going to be close or whether Alistair's just going to come out hard, absolutely thrashing, and
Yeah, it's really hard to know what to expect in this game going forward, right? I mean, LoL 123, I was supportive of them last week, and they let me down. You know,
oh,
they hold
how are
to
your
me to come
feelings?
back this week. But the squad from Disorder is, you know, that's going to be something else. That's going to change this game completely. What do we expect?
What isn't changing the game completely, I suppose, is the map. Inferno, I believe both teams will be relatively happy with this. I do think that LoL 123 picking it, it's a map that we've seen them be strong on. We obviously haven't seen them win on it. We haven't actually seen them win on anything. We also haven't seen Disorder win. But at the same time, looking at this roster, I'm going to have to sort of give it at least slightly more in Order's favour still.
Yes.
I'd like to see Blitz and Co come out absolutely firing. It'd be beautiful.
Yes.
But the only problem is, it's Order. It's actually Alistair. And I'm pretty sure that after some of the results they've had internationally being a little bit poor, he'll be happy to just come back here and just pop some heads.
Oh yeah, it's got to be a lot different than playing all these star teams that he has overseas, right? Because he's top of Australia and New Zealand, and being able to come into this game, it's going to be a bit of a, you know, a bit of a breeze, perhaps. Oh, Moe CQ, okay.
Alrighty, so that's a pretty normal-ish roster for LoL 123.
I think
Pulling in Moe as well.
I like this.
Yeah,
Moe CQ is a great fit for them.
basically in space of Lonsdale, they've picked him up. Flix is going to actually come through with the first frag. Flag? There's no flags in there. The first frag onto Soju. Flix is going to be able to push right up onto the side. Shots coming straight on through. Stevie will drop Cobbs. And now in a 3 versus 5 retake is entirely plausible. But sadly, these T's already getting into post plants. But my goodness, M-Swag dropped by Blitz. Alistair is able to hit off a nice shot onto Stat. But Blitz going on the hunt. Moe's dropped Stevie. Still looking. Blitz hunting for that player. Will drop Alistair with a pop to the face. But Sync straight on through. Flix combines. And Order will pick up that first round. And oh, the BM spray coming through already.
Yeah, no map control from the CTs there. The rotation was late. It was a real struggle right from the start, giving up those 2 frags. 5v3, you got to bring it back. Yeah, difficult job.
Always going to be a bit difficult. And Order, they've got that confidence. They're already pulling out the AKs. They're not even bothering with like the partial, maybe we go for a Mac 10 or 2. But the nades stack straight up towards top banana. Usually something you see from the CTs heading down, especially when they've just been destroyed on a pistol round. They want to get as much damage off that banana rush as they can. But Moe is going to just get away with his life. Alistair has to run a little bit as he's been dropped to 40 points of health as well. Trying to go for that jumping headshot. Alistair just peeking through. Stat still playing just on the other side of the wall. Alistair will drop him. That's a bit of spray control.
Oh, Soju, yeah boy. Nice shot.
Hits a lovely Juan Dig onto Stevie. But it just means that one AK will get thrown out of the map. Rather than waiting for a teammate to come and possibly collect it. Okay. Will still be very slow, as Moe will give that boost up to Blitz. Blitz is going to just be holding M-Swag. Is still holding towards that top banana area, expecting possibly a CT push. Smoke comes through, Blitz gets the kill onto M-Swag. Lovely follow there. Brings them into at least a slight advantage, but the weapons still very much favour in the hands of the T's. Blitz will be playing from construction. Flix looking to plant the bomb. Does have that support of the 2 teammates in Alistair and Sync. Bomb will go down and Blitz now has to come looking. Moe with that Deagle trying to do a bit of damage. Soju looking for Flix. Damage through the box. It will come. Flix is able to drop Soju with the USP for some reason. Cobbs does get the trade back. And now 2 AKs still just trying to hold off. Alistair on fire. Drops Blitz. Shots flying through. Alistair, he's had 40 health since basically the start of this round, and he's still holding well on site. The problem is they now have to get themselves off this site without dying, at the hands of Moe or Cobbs. Moe will be able to drop Alistair. Lovely dig there. Moe will fall, but Sink, he'll just allow both himself and Cobbs the chance to get away. Cobbs going on the hunt for an AK if he can find one. Does get one. And Sink leaves it as a one-on-one right at the final moment.
Well, they did some good damage to the T-side economy there. That was definitely going to strip them of their money going forward. It's nice work as well. I think the CT players played that really well. They backed off after they tried to use the advantage of the 4v3 on the retake onto the B site. It's just those AKs at the back of B. They're so hard to overcome.
Oh!
That's one way to use an AK. Woo!
That's a tap and a half as Memswag though, my god. Oh! Gets a nice double himself. I really thought that jumping shot was actually him getting Moe, but instead it was just flicks. And that's a shame because Cobbs started it out near perfectly by annihilating Stevie as he peaked. Sink and Alistair. Luckily Alistair gets that refrag.
That's exactly what the CTs wanted as well. They wanted the T-side players to run into the stack. It's just, they just didn't pull it off. Well, this is it. Is this going to be a full-time buy? I mean, the economy's building up for the Ts, but they're definitely going to be hurting if they don't come out of this. Stat with the MP9. Okay, interesting.
Blitz will be the man with the AWP. Gets it into his hands, peeks down, but won't be spotting anybody out just yet. 4 players up, second mid. Blitz holding on, doesn't hit the shot. Smoke will go down. Aggression. Alistair pushing through. Stevie picks up one. Soju, 1, 2, 3. My goodness. Sink gets a final refrag back. But now him and M-Swag have to find all these kills. Soju has essentially set this up for Law 1, 2, 3 already. And now Moe looking to push out Library. Will just get Molotoved off and forced back. Flash goes around. Will catch off the player down towards that pit. Nade popping over. Cobbs will survive nicely with half health. M-Swag dropped to 6. Sink looking to just get a bit more aggression. Trying to pick up something. Gets a nice single spray, but Stack comes through the final 2 kills on that MP9. Grabs himself an AK. And Law 1, 2, 3 will pick up their first round.
Huge play from Soju on Diggity. That was massive. That's what we need to see from them. Big, big plays. Guys stepping up. Ah, that was a massive spray down. That was so good. I got really excited there. To see him step up for these boys, like, it's so needed. Yeah.
Refreshing, isn't it?
My fire's getting lit. These boys could turn it up.
That's not the only thing that's getting lit tonight. This game is absolutely on fire. Stat, he's going to be able to put down his own Molotov. Sink, going to take a little bit of damage. Head spotted. Luckily for Stat, he wasn't on point. And those flashes are going to catch M-Swag out. Stat will drop Sink. He's on for one tonight. He's absolutely pinging off the walls. Stat, still looking for some more. Possibly even looking for a jump headshot here. I'd love to see that come out of an AK. But for now, Soju will be waiting for that player to push out Carpet. Blitz expecting a player out Boiler. Alistair will be that man. Soju peeks round into him and looking to try and get in on behind. Soju will just drop back. Still got Cobbs waiting for that Carpet push, but it will be ordered. Just trying to take the time. Try and play around. And I actually have to wonder who will be calling for these boys at the moment. Whether this is just Alistair taking charge, I'm on order, listen to me, do as I say. Raw, raw, raw.
I don't know, but I think the CTs are really using the clock to their advantage this week. They played the early CT aggression, and then they've fallen back as the clocks run, making it really difficult to give away those entry frags, those picks.
I think you actually have a really good point. The Ts this week, we've seen so many close rounds that have just been faltered by the clock. M-Swag will pick up one, but Moe picks up the final 2 frags onto both M-Swag and Alistair. But back to the point you said, the clock, it's working in the CT's favour this week compared to quite often where we'll see them getting on towards that bomb with about 4 seconds left and they're just left in an awkward bit of grin on the face.
Inferno is one of those maps. Like, using the clock on Inferno is really important. It's getting those rotates onto the correct bomb site, understanding where the T-side players can be. That was really clever play down Banana. They had early Banana control with Stack getting that pick. Then they fell off defensive when the clock went under a minute.
Oh, Blitz We talk about timing. He doesn't get the timing on that one, at least. Very unlucky. Gets caught pulling out an incendiary. And that could have been a free kill, especially against these completely unarmored, defenseless, poor terrorists.
Yes. He doesn't want to give away that AWP, but he's playing it really smart, playing all the lines, all the angles.
Oh, Cobbs holding on for 1-2. Makes it nicely. Blitz will pick up a third, and that will do it. Cleans it all up. Sync and Alistair, the last two to fall. Lob 1-2-3, bringing it all the way back to a 3-all. And one thing I have to mention is, have you noticed the LOL 1-2-3 profile pictures?
Yes, Legacy. Whoa, that's getting nice.
Yeah, it is getting rather nice, and they have obviously been picked up by them.
Yeah, obviously, someone sees something in them. You know, they see potential, what these guys can be. I mean, they are a solid squad. I back them. I really like their fundamentals, their logic to the game. I think Moe tonight actually brings a little bit of aggression, creativity, much needed actually.
Yes, indeed. It's interesting. We've seen a few different players play for a few different teams over the course of this tournament. We've seen Raz play for a couple of different rosters. We've seen Moe now on a couple of different rosters as well. But it's always good to sort of see Moe come through, and the sort of wealth of experience he does bring, the fact that he can be a secondary AWPer in a lot of situations, even a primary AWPer, if your team is absolutely, I'm not going to say desperate, but if maybe your primary AWPer isn't fragging as hard as you'd like him to. Sadly for Moe tonight, Blitz is going off on one already, so he doesn't really have much of a say, as Auto will still have those 5 AKs, they'll have a bit of utility. They will be playing up towards this A site through Alistair. He'll be looking to at least get a single frag, but Moe just going to back away towards top banana. Alistair will drop stat, and that now gives him full control towards that arch side. He's going to get caught by Soju, but Soju will fall. Alistair left with a single point of health. Cobbs still rotating, playing around the site. If he's able to drop Flicks, that is the bomb coming out first, he'll drop Alistair. Blitz has dropped Sync. He's looking for Flicks. One of these players has to peek in. Stevie's going to go. Flicks is going to go. Grinny Bankers. M-Swag has to come through. Picks up one. And now Blitz and Moe. Oh, too simple for Blitz.
Yeah, great round. I mean, Cobbs, you know, that was impressive on Diggity. Isolated. Beautiful. Beautiful work. But massive mistake from LOL 1-2-3 on jungle. Stat rotating without even being a little bit cautious about a T-side player possibly lurking in that position. He was just totally unaware. It's not what we want to see at this level. He needs to step up his game and be conscious of that.
I do have to wonder, if I'm being honest, when was the last time you heard Grinny Bankers mentioned?
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, last I remember was towards the end of 2016, so it feels like something I shouldn't be saying, almost. Either way, Stat going to take a lot of damage early. Moe going through to try and get some trading damage back. Sync and Alistair both burning up. Alistair just gets away within an inch of his life. Flicks and Sync both peeking around those wood piles, but Flicks, that's the bomb down. Sync will have to try and come and pick this up, but Moe looking for this kill through the smoke. M-Swag's able to drop Blitz, but Cobbs gets in there, gets it right on back. Now Sync, Alistair, and Stevie left up against the 4 remaining players of LOL 1-2-3. Flash is going to come over from Stat. Stevie full white. That'll be Moe picking up one, picking up no, just one. Sync will get him right back. And now Cobbs and Stat both heavily tagged. Soju has a single play to try and go for. Stat. Okay, never mind. Soju will drop Sync. And
this really works with Moe. I love that aggression. Yeah, he's always keen to go forward. He's always keen to keep playing. He is a playmaker. Yeah, and he makes big shots. It's really nice to see that chemistry straight away off the guard. Just off nothing. These guys haven't played together. He's communicating with his teammate. I'm going to push. Can you flash over? Flashes over roof, pushes through the smoke, kills the guy on wood. Beautiful.
There's not much more that he could ask for there. Alistair down to a deagle. They'll just be looking to push. Moe's managed to drop Stevie. Alistair gets aggressive into apartments, trying to push Moe in boiler. Moe, though, looking for the shot through the smoke. Alistair is close. Moe will go down. That's M-Swag getting the assist. Nice work. He'll be looking to pick up a little bit more. 4 versus 4. He won't be able to get his hands on the weapon just yet. Is slightly hunting. Alistair just peeking around. I don't know if he spotted out Cobbs, but Cobbs has spotted out him. We'll be looking. 2 players now over on this A site. Third player still rotating through from Arch side. Cobbs will pick up M-Swag. And that'll be Cobbs picking up another one onto Flix. Looking for some more, but Sync with the dig. Hits that nicely. Soju gets one back, but Alistair, he's got the M4 in hand. Looks for Soju. Gets a minor tag up, but that'll be Stat coming on through, cleaning up. And low 1, 2, 3, double it up. Keep that lead now to 3 rounds.
I said I'm on low 1, 2, 3, right? Did I say that at the start of the game? Did I say I'm back in
Nope. Nope. Don't even try it, mate. We have VODs on Twitch. We have people recording this. No, you can't go back.
Oh,
no.
Come on. They're looking really good right now. Despite their flaws, players are stepping up. Individuals are stepping up. They're getting nice double frags, multi-kills. They look good.
You know what else looks good?
Moe with an AWP. Double AWP. Interesting.
Yeah. That's not exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say myself, but, you know, if you want to be more centered on the game, that's fine.
Well, you know, I mean, I look good.
Okay, fine. We're both highly attractive, men. But
We
that
look
doesn't
good.
mean too much when Moe hits a nice shot onto M-Swag, being barely able to even see him. With Stat looking to peek over. No, he's actually going to boost Blitz up. Not even over the wall, so just a really awkward angle. He spots out Alistair. Blitz won't be able to pop off the shot.
Off the wall, off the wall.
Stat will drop Flix, though. Does manage to back away. As Moe still just going to be sitting towards top mid.
Yeah, interesting thing about this org that LOL123 have been picked up by is that it's actually owned by an Australian rules football team. They bought it out just last year. So this is a real org. This is a real organisation that's going to be making a mark on Australian and New Zealand CS. To have an investor like that, yeah, awesome. To have a coach like Sniper in charge of them, I really like it.
Yeah, I quite like it as well. And I do have to say, the other thing that I like is, I think, did Soju just shoot at Moe? I don't know, but M-Swag will drop Soju. Gives him a very good chance to get onto this site with the amount of damage done, but Blitz and Moe combining with their ults drop both M-Swag and Sync. Cobbs comes through nicely, drops off Alistair, and LOL123 taking a very nice CT-sided lead so far.
Yeah, impressive. And yeah, the money's on their side right now. They're going to be able to get away with this half. I'm sure I can see more rounds going in their favour. They're playing really smart with their early aggression, getting the frags, falling back, going defensive when they need to. They're doing everything right, which we haven't seen in previous weeks. Previous weeks, they've actually opted for a default or defensive setup before applying any aggression. I really do like this. I think it's really working.
Blitz getting aggressive into top banana. Smoke goes down. He's able to get that first shot off onto Flix. Peeks again, misses the flick. On to M-Swag. Shots will be fired through. Blitz is tagged down to 33. Stat just instantly swaps out. Looks like they're going to actually go for a possible boost over the wall. No, just the jump spot. Doesn't really want to risk it. Stat will just put down the Molotov. Hold the tees back just for a moment. Stat will have Sync push right into him. Will have M-Swag at his feet, but he will drop one. Stevie drops Stat. Soju left over towards that site. As Blitz just spots and actually gets a really nice shot onto a shoulder peeking Alistair.
These double AWPs are going to be so hard to break now. I'm not sure if Disorder have the teamwork or chemistry to be able to tackle it. It's that communication between team members, understanding the line that your teammate in front of you is going to take. They're going to be a little bit disorientated, a little bit broken because they don't play with each other week in, week out.
On the other foot, though, Alistair has pulled out an AWP himself, and I feel like when they know this double AWP setup's up, they almost have to go through apartments nice and fast, just to try and prevent those AWPs playing those sort of banana and arch side angles from getting any shouts at them. But no, Blitz gets aggressive into mid, trying for that first pick. Sync will be looking for something, but Alistair just gets a single tag off onto Cobbs, looking for a little bit more. Did I say Alistair? I meant Stevie. Whoops. Either way. Moe won't have spotted the player over the smoke. Alistair still just going to be looking at smoke's going to absolutely block him off. Looks to get a little bit aggressive, but overall they're not too concerned. Blitz just holding on.
with a minute on the clock, the CT should be bracing themselves for an execute right now. I don't know why there's a rotator going towards B when they've got a player on banana.
Who knows? But that will be Blitz actually picking up the first kill. Flash comes through. Soju will peek. Okay, that was
a wide peek.
It was odd, given the fact that he just flashed them to get the information. I don't know why he wasn't there to try and shoot them, but he will shoot them this time. He picks up one, picks up two, picks up the 3 spray onto Alistair. Lovely work.
That's some sick recoil control on jungle right there. That was beautiful.
That's what you call spray control.
Spray control. Like it. Soju, mate, you're showing up. That's a second as well, I think. Yeah.
Picked up a few kills now.
Well, they are getting away with mistakes, which they could be, they would be getting punished for if they were playing Greyhounds or Tainted Minds. Wide peeking with a flash out. Just lucky no one was aware he peeked.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit awkward, but a 5-3, 4-man rush towards this B site. Alistair falls instantly, hands to Soju. Mo E picks up one through the smoke. Stat looking to get something. Nade goes down. That could be crucial. No, it doesn't do any damage, or at least not enough to make us explode. But Flix and Stevie now, they have a good chance at holding on to this. Flix actually gets through there, drops Soju. Nobody rotating in through Banana though. That smoke, Stevie through the smoke. My goodness, instantly in their favor. Blitz takes a little bit of burn damage. And now Stevie and Flix. Leave it to Flix.
Yeah, the retake wasn't there at all, was it? It was a slow rotate from the A site. They got the bomb down and they hadn't even got connected yet. 9-4, that's a great lead for LoL 1-2-3, and they haven't stalled at all tonight. So, yeah, it's good to see them carrying on with this momentum.
Yeah, it's good to see them taking a nice lead out, and maybe it is that confidence of now being under a legacy banner as well.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like I said with Darksided before, we saw them under that Darksided banner the first week. Not so good. Second week came out a lot more firing, and then obviously this week they came out annihilating. If we gave them 2 more weeks in this season, I'm pretty sure we'd be seeing them at finals instead. But Blitz is going to pop out, drop M-Swag. Flix and Alistair now left in the 2 versus 5. Even with the weaponry, nothing apparently matters for Order. As LoL 1-2-3 are just popping off.
This aggression is really paying off.
Cobbs is already in T-spawn. How is he in T-spawn? Alistair, how'd you miss the shot? Cobbs! Oh! How? Oh my goodness, I don't know how he gets so aggressive and just doesn't hit anything. That nade, got to annihilate him, he gets the Kobe! Or do we call it the Kobesy? Either way, Flick's now left in Mexico. Will be able to drop Soju, can't get the flick onto Stat. But LoL 1-2-3 knock it up to a 10-4 lead.
Oh, that's great to see. I'm glad to see LoL 1-2-3 on top. I've been looking for it this entire league and they haven't showed up. But you're completely right. Signing on to Legacy, I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually incentives for them to be performing. Maybe a reward system. I mean, that would be something I would be looking at if I was,
win around, get a cookie.
Yeah,
that's actually something I'd be interested in. But
exactly.
I'm trying to lose a bit of weight here, so fat-free cookies. No, high-fat, low-sugar cookies.
Well,
yeah, something like that. I don't know.
If we see them putting on weight in a few months, we know why.
Either way, Blitz is going to come out nicely. Flix will get a single frag back in return. Gets it down to that 4 versus 4. And instantly, it's all slowed down again. Just nice and calm. Everyone can just sort of sit back, have a drink, sip on the cup of tea. Moe still holding an angle from CT. Alistair just keeping his eyes over the smoke. Sync's actually managed to drop Soju rather nicely over on Arch side, and I believe Sync might actually be having a little bit of lag himself here. A little bit awkward when you get such a nice frag. You know you might be able to go off on one, and then all of a sudden you get that little bit of ping. Cobbs is just going to be peeking around. Sync still looking for this. Sync will find the kill. Doesn't leave the A site open. Lets them know that Stat's there. Allows them at least to know there can only be one player over on B. Pushing towards that AWP. All 3, though, are actually going to be heading out towards A. They've rotated off towards B for the simple fact that they thought Moe was going to need the help, knowing that it was a 1v1. As it is jumping out of apartment. Stat, he's ready. He picks up one, looking for the second, trying to hold that spray, looking for a second still, but Stevie will get that refrag. Alistair now holding, waiting for Moe's push, but this round should go now in favor of Order. Moe just going to be pushing around, trying to head through that diggity side. Alistair, oh, can sit on site. Stevie, oh, gets tagged up by Moe. If Moe can get this shot off, it'd be absolutely beautiful. Alistair, though, goes high, grabs Moe. And Order will pick up their 5th round. 10-5 half, not what you should be expecting.
That's a much better half this time around. I mean, last week they actually struggled as CT and did really well on T. So, well, 1, 2, 3, they're doing really well. They will be really happy with themselves. And I think it was that early aggression, that confidence. Like you said, legacy, yeah. They're working for this org.
Absolutely. 5 nice sets of armor on this Order side. 5 nice sets of armor on the LoL 1, 2, 3 side. 2 players actually sitting top banana for Order. Alistair trying to peek towards that top mid area. So MSwag actually backed himself in to Graveyard as well. This will be relatively awkward if these Ts don't deal with him properly. Soju getting up close. Alistair looking to peek around. MSwag's able to drop Moe, but Soju getting up close. Doesn't really get any damage off. And now Soju is going to peek around. Spots out one. Soju is still going to fall. Actually, the hands of Flicks instead. Now Stat, Blitz, and Cobbs heading over towards B. Peeking through from CT will be Stevie. And Stevie still keeps going. Sync and Stevie both fall. Bomb has been dropped towards CT. Stat just trying to get around. Does manage to get onto the site. Allows for at least the plant. Cobbs has to hold from a separate angle. And the 3 CTs rotating. 2 straight in through from construction. Stat could be caught out here with this Glock. Has to get the damage off early.
Oh.
Gets Alistair. Nice work there.
Oh.
Picks up Flicks. He's going to be looking for MSwag now. One of these players will finish with 3 kills. One could finish with 4. MSwag, he's just going to be spinning around on the bomb.
No!
Stat has to get in there. Has to prevent him. And he will just catch him out. Gets the quad kill. But my goodness, he thought MSwag was just tapping it, backing into construction.
If he
but
had a
my
kit.
God, if he'd had a kit, that was all over. He would have been smacking himself in the face going, how dumb can I be?
Oh my gosh, and if he had defused that as he was shooting him, oh my gosh, I was feeling for Stat just then, but that was massive. As soon as he got that shot on Coffins, I knew he had the round 1. Like, he just looked on point, he looked sharp. It was awesome to see him make those shots.
Boo! Nice work from Blitz, actually hitting that shot onto MSwag. Nice little play as Stevie's actually been forced back with his Swag 7 all the way into the corner. He'll be hoping that someone peeks right into him. Alistair tagged up as well. Flicks forced away, and this utility usage coming out rather beautifully here as Stat is able to annihilate Stevie. Moe peeks round, drops Sync. 3 players tagged, but it doesn't matter. Law 1, 2, 3 are on one. Flex and Alistair both left alive. Neither of them really wants to try this. Soju doing the little cheeky himself, giving the little spin in the hopes that nobody will stop him planting. Not that it matters, there's nobody there. And all quality control goes out of the window for Order. If Alistair can actually save this scout, he'll be relatively happy. It's something to take into the next round and possibly use as at least a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, it's going to give them some leverage going into the next round. That scout, a bullet to the head, tap tap, it's what can open up a round for the CT sides. Maybe they can force a rotate and stack a site. Ideally, that's what you want to see.
Alistair actually gets that one, but Soju on the flank gets nicely in there, stops him holding on to that scout. Law 1, 2, 3 will drop themselves onto that 12th round. Order being only able to save a single CZ on Flicks now means that that's probably all they'll have. They'll keep with the USPs around it. Law 1, 2, 3 barely lost anything. We'll keep with a regular 3 Mac 10 buy, and assuming they're able to build up a nice little bit of money farm with that, they can be at least pretty happy. Possibly with a 13-5 lead.
It looks like it's going to be a 13-5 lead, and that's what we need to see from Law 1, 2, 3, because I don't think they've actually gone past 11 rounds throughout this tournament.
It's kind of sad.
Oh.
Does that mean that as soon as they pass 11 rounds, they hit 16? Just because that's
Yes.
the general idea, you know?
Yep.
If you get any rounds, you win. Either way, player's going to be looking to push Banana now. That'll be Flicks picking up Blitz, but here we go. Stat looking for this. No, doesn't get any cleanup. Only gets a couple. These players actually getting a chance to take off more shots. Flix will be looking. He gets his hands on the AK. He's just going to run for it. He'll be happy to hold on to that. The T's almost have to go hunting here with these MAC-10s. And luckily, the CT's just nowhere near the bomb. Allows them to go hunting. M-Swag will fall. Sync and Flix now. Flix up towards Banana. Sync with the no-scope. Almost drops Moe. But now Flix, he's got to keep this up. Nade goes over the top. Won't do enough. Flix will drop Moe. He's going to peek around yet again. Through the box. He'll drop a single player in Soju. But Cobbs gets it back. Low 1, 2, 3. 13-5 up. Hold on to the AK.
Well, the economy still doesn't look that great for the CTs. It'll be interesting to see how much utility they can get on board. We talked about the utility on Inferno a lot, how it holds back the T-side players, stops their control of Banana, mid, forces the executes to go sub 1 minute, which puts a lot of pressure on them to rush the site, get the bomb down.
There's no such thing as an execute sub 1 minute in any match below about LE. I'll be honest with you. Not on Inferno, at least.
Rush!
Yep, everything's a rush. I quite like that kind of play style, though. It suits that hyper-aggressive fashion. And makes me feel good about myself when it works. Either way, Blitz has been tagged up ever so slightly. Order will be looking to try and hold on here. They've stacked 3 on this A site. 2 over towards B. They haven't pulled out an AWP, which is, I suppose, one of those crucial things that worked very nicely for Law 1, 2, 3 themselves. Flix looking for something, but Cobbs and Moe both combining there, picking up kills.
Oh.
Stat drops Alistair. Lovely work. Zink and Stevie now left 2 versus 5. It's not looking good for them, and they need to almost save immediately. But at the same time, they want to do some sort of damage. Blitz playing around, expects 1, drops Stevie, knows the second's there, can't drop Sync, but Moe can just push this. He can go hard, Sync will drop him. Sync looking for 4 and 5. Nope, doesn't even get 3. Soju will drop him. And Law 1, 2, 3 doing a nice bit of work, knocking themselves up to 14. Order. Hey.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, no. Okay, that's a 6. That's not a 0. I'm always looking... Whoa, 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 whoa.
Did you think Stevie was 0 and 17?
Yeah, my eyes are doing tricks. I'm always looking for the donut now. Far out.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Either way, it's looking pretty good for LOL 1, 2, 3 so far. Moe with that AWP. Blitz. Oh my goodness. Stevie. He'll drop Soju. Nice little nade coming through. Perfect work to start this one off, but Blitz, he'll be able to push up. He'll be able to drop a double. Get that nice little bit of farm.
Huge play from Blitz. That's what we've been lacking from Law 1, 2, 3 in previous weeks. Just the follow through. You know, not hesitating, just pushing straight on without, thinking about what could go wrong or waiting for your teammates. And Blitz going for the ace now.
Alistair's at bottom mid. If Blitz can actually go hard and not go home, this, I mean, maybe he's playing at home.
Oh, he's chasing it now. He wants the ace. And Alistair's doing everything he can to hide.
I think he expects Alistair to still be down somewhere bottom mid or T-Apps, but instead... it's unlucky for Blitz. It doesn't look like he will be able to get the ace. Alistair will probably peek top mid if he's caught out here. Actually pops off a couple of shots. Now Blitz, is he going to be running up here? Blitz, no! No! Nah, he's not going to get it. I like how he actually throws away the MAC-10 as well, so he doesn't have a reason to sort of look at it and go, oh, do I want to keep this?
Yeah.
He throws it away so he knows he has to buy, and he's happy with that. 15-5 up over order.
Yeah, it's good to see Stat on top. He's an important player for Law 1, 2, 3. See him confident. Yeah, I want to see that more often. I want to see him making the sort of impact that SK made for Darksided against Tainted Minds. It's a little bit harder to, say against Disorder tonight. Players stepping up because it's a lesser squad. But moving forward, big plays, confident plays, Stat, Blitz. We want to see this against the top-notch rivals.
Oh, absolutely. We want to see this work out for them, and that's what we will see when they do start playing more so under that legacy banner. Once that's all sort of finalized and they're able to, I suppose, have it together doing that. And I do feel like that's what's already given them a boost here. And they'll be relatively happy as Alistair will be able to drop Blitz. Order getting an early frag, and they've actually pulled out that double up setup as well. Sync and Alistair. Cobbs will be able to drop sync. Lovely work from him. Gonna be able to put that smoke down. Stats dropped Alistair. M-Swagger is looking. Stevie can drop Stat. Moe looking for that frag through the coffin. Will be yet to find it. Putting that flash up. Cobbs has dropped M-Swag. And now that leaves this B site as the main target for these Ts. Moe just peeking around, looking.
Ooh, oh, that's the bomb.
Spots Stevie. Spots Flicks. 2 versus 1.
Oh!
Moe trying to hit the shot. Looking for it. Trying to hit it through the smoke. Looking still for Stevie. Where can Stevie be? Cobbs will find him.
Wow.
Lovely work. And LOL 1-2-3 will pick up their first win. Will be the first team to at least get that single win nicely. And Disorder, sadly, I'm sorry to say, go out 0-5.
See you later, boys. And we saw a couple Kobe's. Should we do it?
Boom! That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see at least a few nades come out tonight.
Yeah.
I think we've seen at least 3 or 4 nade kills. I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy with that. And I have to say that was at least an entertaining game, if not a high-scoring game, as, you know, tainted.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really good to see LOL 1-2-3 sign on with Legacy and get back on top.
Absolutely, and trying to get on top of everything as well. I'm sure that would probably be Dallas. Are you back on top of what you're supposed to be managing?
I am indeed, Nutters. Thank you very much. I've only just managed to compose myself after that. How do we describe that?
I don't know.
Immaculately practiced handshake there. But thank you very much for that, boys. And I mean, great stuff for LOL 1-2-3. If you've just joined us, they've just picked up their first win, and quite convincing fashion as well. You know, they're showing they're very strong. And again, for those of you who are just joining us as well, we do have LOL 1-2-3. They've just been picked up by Legacy as well. So good things for the future for this team. Obviously showing that they're a strong team, but obviously with a good organization. Do you think that worked well for their confidence tonight?
Definitely, that was a very good game for their confidence. They played really well, actually. Their teamwork was on point, as it has been for pretty much the whole season. However, it looked like they were individually on fire a bit tonight. Blitz was playing really well. It seemed like everyone in the team was playing well, to be honest, and that definitely gives them a lot of confidence. I think Soju had a couple awesome rounds there with the rifle, picking up a couple nice 3Ks. So, yeah, they'll definitely be happy with that, and good signs ahead for Legacy.
I mean, you know, you talk about individual skill, you know, that's the big thing that had us going with, you know, that Disorder lineup, you know, a lot of talent there. I think things started off really well for them, but obviously as the match went on, it shows teamwork is, you know, so good. I think that was that first round, you know, where they had the Mac 10s out. I think it was M-Swag up the Banana. You know, just going in for gold here. Yeah, there it is there. You know, it looked like things were going to be going well for Order here. You know, great sort of start for them. But then, yeah, once that sort of the teamwork comes out from, well, Legacy now, it's just it's so hard to deal with that. But you know, you mentioned as well, Soju 3K, and it's much like the first match. Which one? Which one? You know, there's quite a few good ones. Off the top of your head, you got one?
I like the 3K when they came up mid and he was holding Diggity and he just slopped them all up quickly. This one here was nice as well.
I was going to say, this is my favourite one. The Ash one was just great stuff, because this is a bit cleaner. He dies in the other one, you know.
This is beautiful as well.
See ya, boys. But I mean, the AWPing as well this evening from Moe was just on point. What do you reckon? Well, yeah, Blitz as well. The combination of the two of them. Is that something they're going to be, I guess, you know, one of their big strengths moving forward?
Well, Moe doesn't actually play for the team. He was just filling in. So usually, as far as I know, they don't really have a double AWP. But from looking at a game like that, they could maybe learn something that maybe one of their other players could pick up a AWP or something like that, because they really did dominate the game with the rifles there. They were stopping the Terror side from getting any early picks. They were pretty much just locking it down with those sniper rifles.
So again, yeah, if you're just joining us, Moe was the stand-in tonight for Lonsdale there, I believe. So did him proud, did him justice while he's over in China. Doing God's work, I'd hope, for New Zealand, trying to pick us up some wins over there. But the other thing as well is, you know, we saw Alistair there coming back. I think it was just a bit of fun for those boys there on the Disorder side, you know, having a bit of a shoot around. Do you agree with that? Do you think they're just having a bit of a, you know, bit of a pug sort of?
Yeah, they're actually mates. Those guys. I've seen the RS on the end of their name. I think it stands for Real Shooters, and. Yeah, I don't think they were really shooting tonight, but it was a good game overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see, obviously, you know, them just coming in just to play that final game. But again, you know, great stuff there. And there was obviously, the pistol clutch from Stat, I think it was just...
Yeah, no, it was nice.
That was so good.
Nice.
Hopefully we can have a look at the replay of that there. Yeah, this was just absolutely crisp and clean. Look at that headshot coming through. Manages to grab that one there onto Flicks, and then just... He's got position, he's got the bomb, and it's all she wrote from here.
The CT actually had a kit there. He might have been able to pull away with that one, but Stat played it well. I think he anticipated him having no kit and waited the 5 seconds and went in and shot him moving around.
Try to give him the old Neo there as well. You know, a little bit of left, a little bit of right, a little bit of left, a little bit of right.
Something like that.
But yeah, no, it's good to see. Obviously, you know, we've got everything sort of hammered out. What was your, I guess, favourite moment from the season?
From the season, mine would probably a couple moments. My favourite, like in terms of fragging, would definitely be the 4K from Zeusy with the Deagle on Mirage.
Oh yeah,
that was nutty.
Yeah.
But my standout from the season in terms of players would be Dexter. I feel like he's literally dominated every single map. And in terms of teams, I've really been impressed with Greyhounds, with what they've been able to do for all 5 games. But I'm interested to see how Corvidae can do.
So funny you say that, actually, because I was going to say, you know, the standout for me, it's easy to pick, you know, the big boys, you know, Tainted Minds, Greyhounds, you know, always great stuff. But Iron has been, he's been my guy.
He's been
my go-to guy, and I can't obviously wait to see next week, because we do have obviously our clear set top 3 teams. So for those of you who are just joining us, the top 3 teams that finished in group play, so this week is the final week of group play, will be moving on to play on LAN. So what that means is they'll be playing here live in the studio with basically 0 delay. Because when you play online, there is a slight little bit of, you know, delay. You and I both know it's not as responsive as when you're playing.
Nothing beats LAN.
Nothing beats LAN, there we go. So they will be here competing for that $10,000 prize pool next week onwards. So it'll be Tainted Minds, I believe, taking on Greyhounds. We will have a look at the standings in just a moment to just confirm that.
Corvidae.
What did I say?
Tainted Minds, Greyhounds.
Ah, one of those ones. Yeah, exactly that. Is there any sort of final points you want to make?
I just hope Corvidae can really bring something next week. Obviously, they're going to come in as the underdogs, but I feel like one week you watch Corvidae play right, and they're really good. They're doing well, and then the next week you watch them, they're sort of maybe not playing as well as you expected. So if they can bring their A game, then hopefully they can really give it to Tainted Minds next week, and we have an awesome best of 3 match.
So yeah, let's have a quick look at the standings now, just to see obviously how everything has turned out after our 5 weeks of group play here in the Alpha Series. So there it is, Greyhound finish up in first place, 5-0, and with a huge amount of round difference in their favour as well. Tainted Minds coming in at second, 4-1, and closely followed by Corvidae coming in at 3-2. But I mean, we have to say well played to, you know, Dark-Sided, Low 1, 2, 3, and Order, or Disorder as we've been calling them, for just a well played sort of group stage so far. But next week, yes, it will indeed be Tainted Minds taking on Corvidae. Just having a look at tonight's results. We saw our first overtime ever, Dark-Sided taking on Tainted Minds there. Tainted Minds did pick that one up in the end. Corvidae did battle valiantly against Greyhound Gaming, but Greyhound did manage to take this one out. And Order did come in with a little bit of fire, but LOL 1, 2, 3 managed to edge them out with just superb team play and superb fragging power for the boys there. But yes, next week it is going to be, as I did mistakenly mention before, it is indeed going to be Tainted Minds taking on Corvidae. And I mean, these 2 teams matching up, you know, Corvidae had, you know, pretty good showing against Greyhound tonight.
Yeah.
You think that's going to be, you know, a good matchup? You think Corvidae have what it takes?
I feel like they definitely do have what it takes, but as I was saying before, it sort of comes down to, I feel like Tainted Minds are a lot more consistent with how they play. Corvidae, one round or one game, they seem like they're doing really well, and then other games they're sort of flaking away and not bringing their A game. If they can bring their A game and really be fired up for the LAN here, you know, pumped up, winning some key rounds, then I honestly do believe they could take Tainted Minds. Tainted Minds the last few weeks have sort of, I don't think, played their best CS. They got taken to overtime this week where they could have lost, to be fair, to Dark-Sided, whoever they did play good, but it feels like Tainted Minds have sort of been off their game these last few weeks. So if they're not on their A game and Corvidae is, then we could definitely have an upset here.
So yeah, hopefully they will manage to find their form as of next Thursday, 8 PM here on Twitch and on Sky Sport. It will be Tainted Minds taking on Corvidae in the best of 3, playing on LAN live out of the studio. But before that, though, if you do want to tune in on the Wednesday, we do have the Dragon Ball FighterZ National Championship going in from 8 PM, and that's going to be the best fighters in the country duking it out to go to Las Vegas and compete with the big boys over there for a huge cash prize in one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the world. But yes, I can't wait for that. It's going to be great to see all these players sort of duking it out there.
For
The
sure.
big one, make sure you're back here for the Counter-Strike next week.
yes.
That's going to be the way to go. But from all of us here at LPL, I've been Dallas Easy Fighter.
Thomas Blackout Richmond.
He's got it on lock now, doesn't he?
Ah,
But thank you all from our production team as well. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend.
good night.
This presentation was brought to you by Playtech, technology at play. And Logitech G, game with passion, win with science. And Samsung, redefine the game.